WQAM 560 Sports Fan Radio. We realize that there's only really about, three people who want to hear sports all day. So starting this Monday, we've got Gilbert and Lenny Martez from 6 to 10 a.m. only on 560 WQAM.
I want some action!
It's the concert of the summer. William Hung and Connie Chung. Hung and Chung together.
Thanks for the memories. Now that the show is through, I've got bigger things to do. But Maury is back weighing in. Fat babies, how taboo.
Your ears will bleed. So obnoxious, you'll have a stroke.
Thanks for the memories.
William Hung and Connie Chung. Hung Chung Palooza.
She bags. Oh, baby, what you move.
Free vomit bags for the first 100 people.
All right. One thing about Connie, man, she may not be good, but she's at least consistent. Everything she's involved in is a total flop. You notice that?
I did.
She's flopping on it.
Yeah, but
in fact, yeah, she was flopping on it on top of the piano, and she's just a silly bitch. At any rate, got some good news, man, on the schedule horizon. Look at that. George is going to be on next Tuesday because it's the 4th of July, and a big paid talent like me don't work on holidays. Didn't I mention that, Josh, before I went on vacation?
Yes, you did.
4th of July, that's George. That's all you. And then the 6th of July, which is a week from Thursday, we got a Marlin game. Oh no. With a pregame at 12:30. Well, when you live right. So anyway, I was inspired to take this poll because of my experience in Berlin. Not the one I told you about, but the other one. Mm-hmm. The soccer experience.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And the worst part of it is now that, the two friends that I took over there now, that's all they talk about is soccer and the soccer T-shirts and Ecuador and Ukraine and bada-beep, bada-boop. I can't find, and I actually did force myself to watch some of it. I mean, I didn't go to either of those games.
We did, too. We pretended to care about the USA-Ghana game, and it was brutal. That was
gonorrhea, man.
Yeah.
It's just pathetic. It is so ponderous and just goes, and talk about diving. That's all they do is just dive. Even in the Olympic swimmers, they never see so much diving. Diving. Oh, gee, and they're holding there, and they're writhing and holding their leg. And then all of a sudden, the one guy, they took him off the field in a stretcher, and like 10 seconds later, he just comes running back on the field. Just a farce. But anyway, that's the world for you. If you wonder why there are so many problems in the world, just look at that. Soccer. Our poll today, don't we have yesterday's poll that you did? Let's do that one. See, I'm out of touch with this. I'm out of practice.
Yeah, I want to know what the results are.
Oh, 959 votes. Pretty weak. You didn't even get 1,000 on a total vote. What did you do? Diddle around with a poll?
I started it at 10.
No, that's not good. In fact, I would have started mine a lot sooner, except that every time I keep... if I fax Eric the poll about 3 times... If I fax him about 3-4 times, and finally he decides he's going to put on there. He's busy, man.
Well, you know he doesn't have a fax machine per se.
He's going to be at the Parliament House. I understand. He gets his faxes on the computer. And by the way, Miguel, how about that MySpace.com /Neil God thing, which nobody bothered telling me about till you told me this morning. A lot of news at QAM. Fat Boy is gone. So I guess in honor of Fat Boy, who called me this morning before the show.
Hiya, Pally!
There you go. We'll keep playing that to keep his memory lingering on. So I guess we take the padlock off the prize closet where they have the candy bars hidden now.
Right.
And take that off.
And the food cabinet and...
Right. All those other things. Yeah, he was thanking me profusely this morning for everything I did for him, which I have no idea what that is, since he never sold my show. But at any rate, here's your poll. For the most part, how do you acquire new recorded music? I should have another category on there. George sends it to me. I got 3,600 songs on my iPod.
Well, that counts as I get copies from a friend.
I got my docking station, man. I got my dockers for old cockers. I'm hip and cool, almost as hip and cool as square as a cardboard box.
You're a ding-dong daddy.
Yeah, I really am. For the most part, how do you acquire new recorded music? I buy CDs. Oh, God, 324. Well, I do that sometimes. I buy some CDs. In fact, I would have probably had to buy a lot more of them if it weren't for you sending me all that good digitized stuff. Wow. Now, that to me, there are a lot of things that I marvel at, like television and the fact that I'm sitting here talking and people can hear it. There are things that are really amazing, but when you actually, download into your iPod off that digital stuff, off your iTunes, and you watch it takes like a half a second for the whole song to go in there. And then you watch those little blip, 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 like that.
I found an old box of tapes that I'd made, painstaking, real-time recording song after song, you know, so that I could play it in the car. I'm thinking, God, what insanity that was.
Yeah. And here, with this tremendous technology we've got, man, it's really something else. Farm out. I buy CDs, 324. I don't acquire new recorded music, 243. Well, what does that mean?
That they
I'm
don't.
going to say it again. Take your FM radio and Schmidt cannon, flush it down the toilet, okay? And all this crap about, they just had a thing on CNN where Sirius wants to buy out XM so that they can have the golf on Sirius instead of XM. I mean, forget about that. When you can have all this music on your MP3 and your iPod and your phone and your, you can even download some of it right into your.
Rectum.
That's what I'm hearing. If you have it not long enough.
Cube.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Isn't that great?
I have a wireless receiver in there just so I can do that.
Man, oh man, when you sit on the throne, can you imagine the music you could make? Some of us already do. Anyway, download using file sharing sites and programs, LimeWire, etc. Oh no, 192. Don't be doing that now. 192. What are you laughing about? Don't do that.
A joke I never heard before.
Oh, I just got it. Download from a digital download site like iTunes, etc. 91. I hate this poll, 57. Not too many. Friends give me copies, 48. Well, we must have a lot of lonely people out there because if you had any friends, they'd be giving you music. What does that mean?
Friends
that was
give
my
me
choice.
Copies, I give them copies, right?
Yeah, there you go. Friends give me copies, only 48. And I'm in the business, so I get music for free, only 4. And those must have been inside the building from the other end of the building. Do we know any of the people, by the way, on Power 96? Do we know who they are or what they're all about?
I know some of them, and some of them know us.
Yeah. Some of us actually know that we're on the air.
We have Tony the Tiger, Lucy Lopez.
Oh, and while you were away, I'm sure, did Josh put you in on that miracle we had with Ricky Ticky calling in?
Yes.
That was my psychic powers at its utmost again. That had to be it. Because all the lines were flashing. It was one of those, I wasn't taking many calls. And I punched up line 2. We had about 10 minutes to go. And it was Ricky Ticky who told me that it was him, but I was so anxious to get the line. That was the last day before my vacation. And so Rick Shaw, who's 50 years in the radio business, called in that day and told us he actually is going to wash. He pledged to wash that cap once this year.
Dry clean, I hope.
No, he's just going to wash it in the sink, probably.
Well, it might shrink then.
Just wash it off, then he can load it to Rush. Maybe it's got some prescriptions on it. Oh, this poor Rush, man. When are you going to stop picking on pill popping Rush, huh? Oh, boy.
Pill popping?
Yeah. Rush Limbaugh. This is going to be his new name. He needs all this Viagra. Rush Limbaugh. There's a bit for Boca right there for Chicken Neck. And by the way, Chicken Neck, your check's going out in the mail today. He bugs me a little bit. I love him and he does some great stuff, but he just like a fetch. And then he sent me an email. He signed it Faye Bainter. Now there's only you're laughing. You don't even know who that is.
He explained it to me.
Oh, did he?
I sent him an email and I signed it Faye Bainter.
I should have emailed him back and said thanks very much, Faye Wayne. Signed it Faye Wayne. Anyway, Rush Limbaugh was detained for more than 3 hours Monday at Palm Beach International Airport after authorities said they found a bottle of Viagra in his possession without a prescription. Customs officials found a prescription bottle labeled as Viagra in his luggage that didn't have Limbaugh's name on it, but that of 2 doctors, said Paul Miller, spokesman for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. 2 doctors. He's got a lot of doctors and a lot of pills and a lot of problems. Wouldn't you think that if he was married to Darren Kagan, because she was, she's not bad. I mean, if you try to be objective about it, even though you hate her like poison, she's not bad. He probably shouldn't need any Viagra. But after taking all those oxys and having his hearing, he's got issues. A doctor had prescribed the drug, but it was labeled as being issued to the physician to a physician. Oh, my God.
I know him.
Rather than Mr. Limbaugh for privacy purposes, Roy Black, Limbaugh's attorney, said in a statement. He's always got all these excuses, man. Rush Limbaugh. Right. U.S. Customs and Border Protection examined the 55-year-old radio commentator's luggage after his private plane landed at the airport from the La República Dominicana, said Miller. What's he doing in La República Dominicana? It doesn't seem like a rather strange place for a big right-wing jackass like Rush Limbaugh.
I guess he's copping some pills is what he's doing.
La República Dominicana. Maybe you know some doctors down there. The matter was referred to the sheriff's office, whose investigators interviewed Limbaugh. According to Miller, Limbaugh said that the Viagra was for his use and that he obtained it from his doctors. Investigators confiscated the drugs, which treats erectile dysfunction, and Limbaugh was released without being charged. The sheriff's office plans to file a report with the state attorney's office. Miller said it could be a second-degree misdemeanor violation. How do you like that? That's after his previous problems with Wilma and all the pill popping and his hearing going bad and all them oxys he was doing and everything else. He's a pill-loving guy. It's okay for him. All the other druggies, they ought to be in Abu Ghraib or somewhere.
So Nick, I'm curious as to the vetting process.
Look at that. Abu Ghraib released 450 prisoners.
Abu Ghraib.
Most of them were like busy driving taxi cabs or whatever, and they just rounded them up because they're evildoers.
They're dangerous
just like all those evildoers in Liberty City, man, and those evildoers on that ship out there in California at that port. Anyway, here's today's pool, inspired again by all that. And man, I'm going to tell you, if you think that South Florida went crazy when the Heat won a championship, it couldn't have even come close to matching the hysteria when Germany won their third match in the World Cup.
We were watching some of the footage.
Oh my God, they're just crazy people.
Yeah.
All these soccer people are nuts, and they're honking the horns and they're screaming and going crazy. Although they do look very good. Good on. I'm telling you right now, you want to see some really hot people. And maybe you'll even get lucky. You never know. That's where to find them, in Germany. I don't care what anybody tells you about Denmark or about Sweden. I mean, anywhere you go, you're going to find some nice-looking people, some hot people if you're hot to trot. But if you're really hot to trot, go to Germany, and you'll trot all over the place. What's your take on the World Cup? 659 votes. Oh, we're going to make 1,000 a day during the show. I don't want to embarrass you on this one day. Because, let's see, I'll be on Thursday. Now, let's see, do we have a ball game this Thursday?
No. I don't believe so, no.
Well, why not?
Because
I don't want to have to overdo it here. Although isn't that ironic that next Tuesday, the 4th of July, and George has volunteered. He said, I'm not going to let you work on 4th of July.
That's right. You shouldn't have to do it.
Well, should I have to do it?
When you're not an American anymore, you shouldn't have to celebrate that day. So
how about Canada Day? Can I get that off? It's this Saturday. Can I get off on that day?
You know it.
Canada Day, eh?
Don't work on Saturday.
Okay, and I will not work on the 4th of July. But then the week from this Thursday, I'll be on for like 2.5 hours. That is one heavy-duty schedule, if you ask me. A little bit more than I can handle. 663 votes. What's your take on the World Cup? Oh, God. Look at that abusive priest through the eyes of an abuser with Paula tonight at 8 on CNN with Paula. 663 votes on the World Cup. Soccer is so boring. You notice how I spelled it and underlined with 85 O's with one...
You fat...
after another. 232. Moderately interested, 156. 186. Moderately interested in the World Cup. Are you moderately interested?
No.
I put so boring. It is. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to know from it. Although there's that one kid from Paraguay that got injured. They got 80 different guys named Ronaldo. Not the one from Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah. No, the Ronaldo from Portugal.
Whatever.
He got injured. I'm going to nurse him back to health. Moderately interested, 186. I love it. Watching it on TV, 143. Watching El Copa del Mundo, 143. What's the World Cup? 53. I bet you I know somebody who's wearing one, especially in that place. As boring as watching any other sport. That was George's choice. He added it 25. And I hate this poll. Only 24. They likes it. They don't like soccer too much. Well, actually, I'm surprised that, 21.4% of this very astute audience say they love it. They're watching it on TV. They're following it. They got their flag from all these different countries flying, Ghana and Ecuador. I'm glad that you were already... See, you're a knowledgeable guy around. No, you knew about the Ecuadorians and the Mexicans. They're all the same people.
Indians, man.
They just live in different parts of Latin America, but they're all Indians.
My people subjugated a lot of people all over the world.
Because the Ecuadorians stayed in our hotel last Tuesday when they got their ass kicked by Germany 3-0. And I tell you, they are really grotesque. I felt lovely in that crowd. I looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I got so lucky. Anyway, 10:13 at 560 what?
Elimination?
Yeah, that must be it. I got news for you, man. When there's nobody else around for about 100 miles, and,
that's right.
I'm pretty hot.
How do you think I got laid in Montana?
Probably the same way. Oh, and speaking of Montana, guess what movie was on last night? 2 movies were on last night. I saw the last part of one, and I watched the whole part of the other one. You'll never believe it.
A river runs
First one was
through it.
Pin.
Okay.
No, Pin, which I saw the last half hour again. That's a damn good movie, highly underrated.
It's all right.
And the second one, which I watched the whole thing again.
Oh, he's a little guy, kind of looking.
Fargo.
That's right.
You know something? She is so great.
She's phenomenal.
She's not good. She is phenomenal.
I'm going to burn you a copy of Raising Arizona.
Frances McDormand is so good that
she doesn't have a huge part in the movie, but you'll love her.
She's just fabulous. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Norm. 10:14. If you're a cigar smoker and you like to kick back with a good premium brand, then Bahia Cigars by Tony Brahani is what you'll be looking for. I know what I'm looking for. These hard-to-find cigars are made with first-grade tobacco processed and aged up to 10 years. Bahia is a real boutique cigar maker specializing in small batch, hard-to-find tobacco. Bahia Gold, the flagship line, gets a 91 rating by Cigar Aficionado's Cigar Insider and a 9.1 rating by Smoke Magazine. This rich-flavored, well-balanced, full-bodied Nicaraguan cigar has got earthy hints of dark roast coffee, chocolate, spice, and pepper flavors. It's almost like smoking breakfast, which I'm sure a lot of you do. Also, be sure to try their Bahia Deseo, the hottest release cigar in the last 10 months. The Deseo gets a high rating of 91 by Cigar Aficionado Cigar Insider. The Deseo is a big, powerful cigar for like real men, and you guys as well, with complex notes of leather, earth, and pepper. The finish is long and full-bodied with additional spice and a note of charred wood. If you want to save some real cash, you want to save 40% off the price of all your Bahia cigars. When you call to order, just tell them that Neil Rogers told you, sent you by, and they'll give you 40% off the regular price. Call them at 1-800-35-BAHIA. That's 1-800-35-BAHIA.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
So why? I am not a Nazi.
Picked a bad day to quit sniffing glue. He do the Rush Limbaugh, bouncing off the walls in a rehab room. He do the Rush Limbaugh. He do the Rush Limbaugh. He do the Rush Limbaugh. On loan from God and hateful and rotten. He do the Rush Limbaugh. Snorting and popping illegal oxycontin. He do the Rush Limbaugh. He do the Rush Limbaugh. He do the Rush Limbaugh.
Little girls and candy. I had an epiphany, my friends. An epiphany. It's done.
Under the rug is where the story's going. He do the Rush Limbaugh. Damage control so they can pigeonhole him. He do the Rush Limbaugh. He do the Rush Limbaugh. He do the Rush Limbaugh.
20 past 10 at 560 WQAM. So let's take a look at that award-winning schedule for today for Tuesday, June 27. We got Kimba Bocamper at 2. We don't have any of that. What's that all about? Who was on last week all week?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean,
It was Geldy. It was Geldy.
Oh, God. Well, maybe this is in honor of my coming back for a couple of days this week. We got Kim Bocamper at 2. Mad Dog, 4 to 6:30. I noticed Barry Jackass had that big article in the Herald on Friday. Had that one little paragraph in there about Mad Dogs bumping up from 2, but we don't know when and how and who and if and yada. And that was after, of course, the 2 to 4 slot's been a disaster and been vacated since what was the word he used? Since they bumped out Mo
since
and...
they jettisoned Mo Howard David.
Yeah, since they 86th Mo back in January. Mad Dog at 4, we got the Marlins on deck. Man, they are hotter than a firecracker on the 4th of July. Marlins on deck at 6:30. The Marlins and Tampa Bay Devil Rays at 7:05. I'm sure there's a lot of interest in that game. And Eddie K after the baseball game. Marlins won again last night, did they not?
Yes, they did. 8-5.
8-5 is the final score, and that is after that 9-game winning streak. And then they finally salvaged the game against the Yankees there in that made it a doubleheader game.
Hold your breath. They're 7 games behind 500.
They're only 7 games under 500 right now. Once upon a time, they were like about 20. In fact, I think
About 30, man.
close to that. And now they're only 7 under 500. I'm smelling World Series, aren't you? What?
I'm smelling
hey, if we had that, why the hell not? Super Bowl, World Series, Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I should mention the Panthers traded Roberto Luongo. Bad mistake. Bad. And they bring in Todd Bertuzzi. If you can't play good, goon it up, baby. Bring in one of the most unctuous people in the history of the sport. Bring in Todd Bertuzzi. Oh, my goodness. Bad move there, Iron Mike. Bad move. But nevertheless. See, you can do things like that in South Florida because nobody knows and nobody cares, right? You can do stuff like that. 704 votes on the poll. We're going to make that 1,000 today during the show. Eat your heart out. So you got a big... see, if you're smart, you'll email Eric the poll tonight. In fact, email it to him about 15 times.
Okay, I don't know what the poll's going to be like 5 minutes before the show starts.
Well, why not?
Because, I just can't think of something.
I already got the one for Thursday. I'm not going to tell you now what it is, but see, I work far ahead, man. I work with polls.
I'd like to, but I can't.
Well, I do. I like to, and I do.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, now, how have the calls been this last week? I'm sure that I'm going to get
they've
tremendous...
been spectacular. Yeah, everybody's
really?
calling with material, a lot of funny calls. Yeah, I knew that cracked you up. What do you think?
We had a good week the week that you were off. Remember that, Josh?
Oh, it was something special.
It was really remarkable. No, it wasn't what you think. It was even different than normal. It was just
really.
It was unique. Make no
Different than
mistake
different?
about that. Because anybody who's stuck in that 800 degrees in the shade right now, getting ready for the next hurricane, kind of a mosquito as big as bowling balls environment, has got to be a crazy person. Even the weather in Berlin was very good. The bratwurst were outstanding. The weather was great. The soccer was scintillating, I'm told. Of course, I didn't see any of it. But I just don't understand. In fact, maybe, I don't know if they're playing any games today or not. I don't know what the schedule is. Excuse me for not knowing these things. Shouldn't I know that? Let me go to one of my sports channels and see if they got any of this crap on there. 411, there's this update. There's a golf channel. I got that. How about the Wimbledon? You want to put on some tennis from Wimbledon? Would be good. Maybe we can catch that.
Oh, yeah, I told you I was sleepy. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
Well, there's the...
It's the greatest tournament on earth, and now you can get your 2006 FIFA World Cup highlights sent directly to your cell phone.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Can you?
Huh?
Right on
What?
your phone.
I'm sorry, I already tuned out.
Here's our first call on a great Tuesday. WQAM. Oh, man, we got him underwater this week. That's a good place for him. We're making some real progress. See that? We got Mad Dog moving up to 2 o'clock one of these days. We don't know when, we don't know if, and we don't know how, but we got Barry Jackass
how
putting
long
that in the
was
newspaper.
going to be on after him or
See, if it was me, I'd have him on there at 2 o'clock right now. I wouldn't care what happened after that. I have him on from 2 until he finally just said, okay, that's enough for today. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I would do. But then again, what do I know? Don't start right off the bat making trouble again, especially with this heavy-duty schedule you got. Well, that was our only call. It's kind of disappointing.
Oh, no, there's another one.
I thought there'd be pouring in. Now, what's that MySpace.com /Neil God thing?
That's right.
No, but I looked at it. It's pretty interesting. We got 103 members so far, which I think is a whole audience.
And we just started it. I mean, it's going to...
Well, that's right, friends. I forgot. We got much more people listening, but those are mostly enemies.
Right.
But we do have 103 friends. No, that's nice to know. WQAM, hello.
Brazil, Ghana, France, and Spain.
Yeah. And what about Ukraine? The rain in Ukraine falls mainly closer to Spain. There was a soccer call for it. Isn't that good?
Okay.
See, if it doesn't have to do with, they don't know from it, okay, because that's the bandwagon. George was telling me before the show that it was just, it was impossible to be in that building all during that final hysterical couple of days. Just impossible. I can understand that, because what in the world could possibly be more important than, huh?
Nothing. And he's paying all our bills.
I did stay up to watch, it was actually on pay-per-view, the 7th game of the Stanley Cup. Nothing could be finer than to lose to Carolina. Saw that at 2 o'clock in the morning Europe time. I stayed up till like 4:30, 5 o'clock. It was pretty disappointing. Pretty lame effort by the Oilers, eh? I'm sure you watched it.
Huh?
715 votes on the poll. What's your take on the World Cup? Soccer is so boring with 45 O's in it. 253. Moderately interested, 199, almost 200. This is shocking to me. I love it. I'm watching it on TV, 153. If you add those second and third categories there, you got almost 50%. How's that American team doing? They lost to gonorrhea, man. That's bad. What is the World Cup? 55. What is it? I think Duff is wearing it. It's World Cup is as boring as watching any other sport, 29. And I hate this poll, only 26. They love it. Out of 715 votes. I think we might have that 1,000 by 1 o'clock, and then I can go home, right?
Right.
Hey, hurricane season's here. Don't wait until it's too late to protect your home. Hurricane Shutter Outlet has your do-it-yourself hurricane panels. Why bother with those big home improvement warehouses when the Hurricane Shutter Outlet is your complete source for hurricane protection? They've got everything you need to get the job done and save you lots of cash. They stock all sizes of clear polycarbonate hurricane panels and aluminum panels, or is that aluminum panels that are cut to your needs and ready for pickup or delivery. All products are Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County approved, too. Contractors and installers are welcome, and they accept all major credit cards. Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County approved. Step-by-step instructions included, so why pay all that extra money for installation when the Hurricane Shutter Outlet can get you everything you need to do it yourself and save mighty big? Call this number, 954-237-7083, or log on to HurricaneShutterOutlet.com. Tell them that Neil sent you. Get $100 off a minimum order of 350 square feet. That's 954-237-7083, or on the wicked web, HurricaneShutterOutlet.com.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
This is Dan Rather for one of the final times reporting for CBS News. You may have heard that I will be leaving the network for which I served as news anchor for 24 years. CBS has basically told me there is no future for me there. Well, wipe the dog poo off my shoe and call me Redbutt. No future for me. No future for me. This from a network that hired a party girl to be their news anchor. I say baloney to you, sirs. Baloney. This Katie person drinks cheap champagne out of her stilettos while tabletop dancing and belting out karaoke, which I'm told is a Japanese-influenced singing style. No future for me. I have been the face of that dump for more than 3 decades. Long before Survivor, CSI, or the Monday Night Comedy Block, which actually blows, I was the king. Yet they have the audacity, the unmitigated gall, to tell me there is no future with them. No future for me? You make up a couple of stories about the president, suddenly you're persona non grata. How about that long-haired freak we had in the radio division for all those years? They rewarded him by sending him to a company where the Cowsills have their own radio show. If you ask me, that's not too much vision for a company with an eyeball for a logo. Who could even believe that I, the great Dan Rather, would become about as useless as boobs on a bull? I guess the only way to ensure your future with this network is to cover oneself with body glitter and sleep with less moonbears. For the record, I tried. Less was less than receptive. I have been forced to consider offers that, quite frankly, are beneath me. For example, a hosting job on the show So You Think You Can Dance, and a new reality show called Milking Cows with Celebrities. This reporter has rubbed shoulders with the greatest newsmakers of our time. Gorbachev, Brezhnev, Heidi Fleiss. And now I'm going on casting calls with Screech from Saved by the Bell, whose own home is in foreclosure mode. Well, fire my skillet and wrap me in bacon. I won't take it laying down, unless, of course, Les Moonves reconsiders. Humiliated, yes. Embarrassed, certainly, but not dead. Not just yet. For now, this is Dan Rather signing off. I have a meeting with the people at Cialis to become the new face of erectile dysfunction. This reporter is in as much shock as Willie Nelson reading his tax bill. But I say this here and now. I will not go quietly into that good night. I will maintain what's left of my dignity, even if I am forced to endorse adult diapers. Dan Rather reporting for, well, no one.
At this time, 10:34, 26 before 11 at 560 WQAM. So we want to single out some bitch out there in the audience for special persecution.
Okay.
Remember the day that before my vacation, Josh, and that woman called in, she said, I hear that Bob Weaver's on his last legs. Remember that?
Yes, she did.
Yeah. And the next day, guess what happened?
What happened?
He died?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure you talked about that last week.
Just yesterday. I forgot to talk about it.
What is wrong with you? That's probably the most, other than, of course, that, what could be more important than that?
Well, you know I do a lot of drugs.
And of course, Ukraine winning a couple of games in the World Cup. Other than those two things, what could be more important than losing Weaver the Weatherman? One of the really great people in South Florida for a zillion years. Super guy. So she's going to take responsibility, because I heard through the grapevine, I made some calls, I heard that he was doing fairly well, he was, and then all of a sudden, right after she made that call, the next day, that was it. So I hope that she takes that to her grave, and I hope it's not too long. 740 votes on a poll, 740 CBL Toronto, hockey night in Canada. How do you like that? That ain't there no more, but again, what stations are there that used to be there? Not too many. Is WCFL still WCFL in Chicago? I bet it is. I don't know. Don't care either. The Voice of Labor. Used to have the Chicago White Sox with Bob Elson. Used to have Barney Pipp. But, everything in this business is used to. Used to was this, used to was that, used to be. And that's the whole business. Like this call on line 6 used to be. Like I told you. I knew it.
Well, call Rush.
Yeah, call off Rush. He'll get you a good supply. Get you some good doctors. Keep you all fixed up all the time.
He'll hook you up.
5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon Singular wireless line. At least 57 people were killed. See, I love the headline on this story. Bombings and kidnappings besiege Iraq after Maliki peace plan. I guess it must not be working too good yet.
Oh, jeez.
At least 57 people were killed in attacks and 10 students were kidnapped from their hostel in Baghdad. A lot of hostile stuff going on over there. One day after the Prime Minister unveiled a peace plan aimed at easing the violence. Is it working?
No.
Is it having any impact?
No.
Moscow, meanwhile, confirmed the killing of 4 of its Baghdad embassy employees following an internet statement by their kidnappers, an al-Qaeda-led insurgent grouping that they had been executed. And these guys aren't even from Liberty City. Sectarian violence reared its head again in Iraq, where at least 25 people were killed and scores wounded in 2 separate bombings targeting the country's majority Shiite community. The first attack here happened near Bakuba, in the village of whatever it is, northeast of Baghdad, when a booby-trapped motorbike exploded in a marketplace, killing at least 18 and wounding 20. Bakuba's main hospital confirmed the toll, said most of the dead were children. Shortly after, a homemade bomb exploded in the main market of the city of Hilaj, south of Baghdad, killing at least 7 there, wounding 13. And it goes on and on. All the dead people all the time. Things are going just swimmingly well. And if the Democrats say that we should, get our troops out of there while some of them are still alive and have all their body parts, that's cut and run. But if General Casey says, we're going to start withdrawing some troops, that's a great plan for success. And you do understand what they're saying now, and that is that the only thing that's acceptable, this is what Tony Snow said before he talked about Tar Baby. He said the only thing that's acceptable is victory. Well, how do you define, what is victory? What does that mean?
We'll tell you what it means.
We'll tell you
when
we
we
see
see
it.
it.
Uh-oh, an explosion and fire at a Quality Inn in Bremen, Georgia. Uh-oh, it must be a terrorist attack.
Maybe some of those Liberty City guys.
Not that they're trying to get you all whipped up into a frenzy, all nervous before those November elections, you understand. That's not they would never do that. That's not the Karl Rove effing way.
And, of course, this will prove what a good job they're doing, and we should keep them all in office.
That is correct. You see that? They nipped it in the bud. Just like here in Toronto, they caught all those slime balls. They nipped it in the bud. All those guys with their 80 trillion tons of whatever that stuff was. Actually, it was like cardboard is what it was. A clear majority of Americans say Congress should pass a resolution that outlines a plan for withdrawing U.S. troops from Iraq, according to the latest poll taken over the weekend. USA Today Gallup. Half those surveyed would like all U.S. forces out of Iraq within 12 months. I'd like them all home tomorrow. What's the point? I say stick while before, they're having so much trouble with his trial. Just stick Saddam back in there all over again. Even your buddy Bill O'Reilly said that he did a better job. Know what he said?
That's how I run that country. Just like Saddam ran it.
There you go. He said that in between heavy breathing phone calls.
Oh, Macris.
The poll finds support for the ideas behind Democratic proposals that were soundly defeated in the Senate last week. An uptick in optimism toward the war after the killing of terrorist leader Abu Musab al-Zarqawi earlier this month seems to have evaporated right into thin air. Just like Osama disappeared into thin air, and Mullah Omar into thin air, and Ayman the Pieman al-Zawahiri into thin air. Who keeps making... Did you notice how fancy schmancy his latest video was? You almost get the feeling he's making those at MTV or somewhere, man. He's making some pretty fancy schmancy, and he had that nice picture of al-Zarqawi there, was lamenting and eulogizing. You see that one?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I wouldn't be surprised if they got both of them put up there in the French Riviera. I've been saying that for a long time. Because the Bushes and the Bin Ladens, after all, they're business partners. They're like Michael Corleone and Hyman Roth. They're business partners. Richard Eichenberg, a political scientist at Tufts University who studies presidential polling, says views on Iraq are too firm to be changed by momentary developments. They're set in concrete. The other piece of quote-unquote good news is the unity government in Iraq, but it's not as if we're hearing that they've made any great strides in eliminating the militia influence or violence anywhere in the country. There's still a steady drumbeat of bad news, like that bad news I just had only moments ago. Bush's approval rating is at 37%. Last month it had risen to 38%. Now it's back on the way down to where it was in May, 31%. His standing, which slipped below 40% in February, has rebounded above that level since then. His approval percentage ought to be like about 2%, and all relatives. And by the way, I do want the audience to understand this, that Warren Buffett gave away $37 billion.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give George or Josh any of it.
None.
Or me either. I would have shared it with you. I would have even sent some to Chicken Neck, yeah.
All right.
But he didn't give us any of it. Instead, he gave it to Bill Gates, your favorite.
Yeah.
And, of course, he's going to give it to charity, and he's going to save the world. It just, I don't know. I guess we're supposed to say something really wonderful about that. Oh, what a great man. He gave away $37 billion. Can you imagine a good time we could have at Woodbine with that?
At Woodbine?
$37 billion? Oh, yeah.
Oh, the plans I would have with that.
Oh, man. I'd be back in Berlin in about a half an hour. Be a damn fast trip. 756 votes on the poll. It's creeping a little bit here. I think it's the dog days, if you ask me. It's a good time to be not working too much. That's why this next week and a half, man. Let's see, what's that schedule again? I do have to work Thursday. I'm not too pleased about that, the whole 4 hours. But the next Tuesday is the 4th of July. I got George all 4 hours. Wait a minute, we got a ball game? No.
On the 4th?
What day did I tell you we had a ball game?
The 4th.
Was? No.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a ball game on the 4th of July, 12:30 again? So you're locked out there, so you don't have to feel so bad that I forced you to do it.
It's all right.
And then the following the week from this Thursday, we got another Marlin game. Oh, we love those Marlins, man. They're hotter than smoked apples. Man, they're good.
I'm going to smoke some apples.
Good. Road apples. What's your take on the World Cup? Speaking of road apples, 756 votes. We ought to be up to about 800 by now. I don't want us to fall short. 758. Soccer is so boring. Oh my God, could put you into a coma. 267. 35.2%. Moderately interested. 207. I love it. I'm watching it on the TV. 163. So you put those two together, number 2, number 3, you got 49% for just about. Aren't you shocked? Almost half of the audience is either moderately or hysterically interested. I don't believe it. What's the World Cup? 60. It's as boring as watching any other sport. 34. That's George because he's a spoil sport.
That's
in
a good
fact,
word
I think that's where they made that expression from. Spoil sport.
Right.
That's you. You're spurling it. And I hate this poll. Only 27 out of our usually very, very difficult to please audience. They likes it. 10:42 at 560 WQAM. We got Kimba Beaucamper at 2 this afternoon. No, none of that. See that? We're making some big strides. Speaking of making big strides, with lightning-quick speeds, the latest features in security, Comcast high-speed internet leaves DSL in the dust. Call today and get the best offer of the year. Comcast high-speed internet for only $24.95 a month for your first 6 months. Plus, Comcast will upgrade to the super-fast 8-meg premium speed tier for free for you. With an always-on connection speed of up to 8 megabits a second, Comcast high-speed internet is up to 5 times faster than DSL 1.5 and up to 100 times faster than dial-up. I mean, dial-up is for like old coots. Even I wouldn't use that. Whether you're downloading music, watching streaming video, playing online games, or simply surfing your favorite sites, Comcast reliable fast connection means you'll be flying through the internet. Plus, when you sign up for Comcast high-speed internet, you get instant access to free features like video mail, Comcast Radio, Rhapsody Radio Plus, and up to 7 personal email accounts, just to be naming a few. Not only that, but you also get free McAfee security tools included, so you can be assured that your internet experience is always safe and secure. An annual savings of over $100 just for the security alone. So what could you possibly be waiting for? Start doing more faster than ever before? Sign up for Comcast high-speed internet today for just $24.95 a month for 6 months. And they'd call 305-COMCAST, and of course in 954-COMCAST for all the details. Call them today. Certain restrictions apply.
This is Neil Rogers. Rock solid. This is 560 QAM.
Get off this instant.
Does anybody care about what happened lately? We're massacring children in Iraq. There's a criminal traitor who is fat and tasty, exposed in ages, got away with that. Call If you stripped away their means, the hate would still stay in these means for you. Once respected in the world, now we rape and kill little girls. We're cruel, 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 cruel. When Karl Rove got off the hook, he celebrated. Called Jeff on the phone so he could hear. It's been quite a while since Rove and Gannon dated, like proper Christian neo-Nazi queers. Call Rove.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Classic. Mark it down. Classic.
Already did.
Wow. 10:48 at 560 WQAM. Old Chicken Neck is at it again. 12 minutes before the hour. Got Kim Beaucamper at 2. Mad Dog at 4, but not for long. He's moving up to 2 one of these days. That's what Barry Jackass says. It's right there in the Herald. There's a possibility it might be true. Just like this might be a real call on 6, but I sure doubt it. WQAM, hello. It was so good the first time, it was definitely worth bringing back again, like breakfast. Mm-hmm. Wow. 567. But it's been like this all week long, or is this just a special?
Oh, no, this is it.
This is all we got, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I can't blame anybody for not being there. I mean, you guys got to be there. I don't got to be there, and I don't want to be there, and I'm not there. And I'm pretty damn pleased about it. But these people who are there, like, well, you know, good luck to you. That's all we can say.
Yeah.
781 votes, and good luck to you guys, because you got, like, let's see, tomorrow. And then, although Thursday I'll be back, like Arnold, I'll be back.
Right.
And then after that, not too much. Oh. And then don't forget about that tail end of July and the first week in August. I don't think I've sent you all that schedule for that, have I?
I don't know. I think if Josh turns the page, we got July mapped out.
Oh, boy. No, but what about August?
I don't know.
And not only that, but it just dawned on me, since my whole goal in life is to get paid for not working at all again. I enjoyed that so much the first time. That starting in January, like next year, I got 7 weeks instead of 6.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. And I guess because the next year in my deal starts actually in January instead of October 1.
Okay.
So I'll have to jam in like 7 weeks between January and the end of the year. That's not going to be easy.
I'm sure you can do it somehow.
I'll find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Oh, look at that. What's going on with that phone there, man? Some of these might even be real calls. I doubt it. WQAM, hello.
First time.
QAM. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I heard from that guy.
Hey, George.
QAM.
Neil.
Yeah.
George needs a show monitor.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, Neil, you heard Rush Limbaugh got caught with oxycontin?
No, we didn't hear anything about it, yeah. Unbelievable. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yeah.
We need to bring back, ever since Goldie took over for the Panthers, they're going to hell in a handbasket. Let's bring back kicks. Get the hell out, Goldie.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Goldie, I'm sure, had a lot to do with the trading Roberto Luongo away. You know, not Goldie for whatever you want, but there's another good sports fan for you in South Florida, man. They really know their crap. In fact, that's their middle name, crap. 790. Oh, man, 790. That's the ticket. That's how many votes we got on the poll. We better get off that number real fast, or somebody's going to start having like bad BMs all around the building. Oh, 794. Thank goodness. Aren't you thrilled now that you actually got probably the coast will be clear a little bit more often when nature calls, now that Fat Boy's gone? Not that we don't miss him badly already.
No, because he used the handy crapper anyway. He had to, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the one I always used.
The bars
if I'd known
there.
that he ever used it, I probably would. Yeah, well, hang on loosely.
That's right.
WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yeah, talk to Neil.
Speaking.
Hey, Neil. Once a drug dealer, always a drug dealer.
Yeah, okay, great. 5670560. See that they get figured. If it's not Ann Coulter, if it's not Bush, it's not Cheney, if it's not Rush, you know, it's the same old. I think soccer is more scintillating than this.
Yeah, but give us a good
especially
line.
with Brazil playing gonorrhea. What?
Give us a good line at least, not something old and stale.
Yeah, old and stale, man, like last year's matzah. Old and stale, like Wonder Bread from 10 years ago that kills bodies 8 different ways. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
All right, sir.
Your mocha-colored brother checking in right now. A couple of minutes ago, you said that Bush's numbers were at like 37%. They should be at 31%. And then you said they should be at 2%.
Yeah.
Well, you're forgetting about the black community. His numbers have been at 2% for the longest with us. We may not be with the program with all the other things, but we're with the program with this idiot.
They're on to him.
Okay.
We're on to him.
Thanks, pal.
All right, Neil.
Hey, man, stay out of Liberty City. Okay.
Yeah, you never know.
Don't be wearing one of them schmatas on your head. They're going to drag your ass away. All you, what? All you black Muslims out there. I'm just telling you right now, that's where the terror is in Liberty City. There's terror in the streets in Liberty City. Make no mistake about it. We don't want to get you nervous or anything like that.
Cube.
Oh, that is him, isn't it?
Cube.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to... Oh, come on.
How do you think he takes those pills?
Oh, jeez. Next you'll be wanting to play... That.
This is Rush Limbaugh, servant of humanity, talk show host, hemorrhoid sufferer.
Rectum.
Folks at over 300 pounds, I know the agony of this kind of dilemma. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you there's help. With new Preparation Rush and my Rush to Excellence suppositories. Now you can end the pain and itching of hemorrhoidal tissue. Just look for my picture on the box of suppositories and the applicator tube. Another fine product from OIB, the Obesity in Broadcasting Network.
All right. Not to mention, of course, keeping it up for God. That's probably why I wanted those 2 prescriptions. Don't you think?
No question.
Iced marijuana tea to debut in British health food shops.
I saw that story.
British health food shops. Where do you see it? On our website?
On our website there.
No. That's probably because I sent it to Josh.
Probably. I
sure hope that Alexa gets itself all straightened out so I can send him 1,000 stories for tomorrow. British health food shops will soon be offering customers iced cannabis tea, its Swiss distributor said. Sold under the label Sea Ice Swiss Cannabis Iced Tea, the beverage contains 5% of hemp flower syrup and a tiny 0.0015% quantity of THC, the active ingredient in marijuana. I guess you got to drink a lot of that to get stoned.
I'd imagine.
Any ingredient that could put in the drugs category has been removed, and the tea will not lead to dependency, it says, unless you drink it by the gallon. Unless you stick your own in there and drink it through a straw for hours. But British anti-drug campaigners say that selling the tea is dangerous because it'll give young people the impression that cannabis is commonplace. Oh, as if it's not? It sure as hell is here, I'll tell you that. Oh, and I got back just in time for a gay pride on Sunday, making sure that we kept up all those ugly stereotypes. And they are. This product, the iced tea, marijuana iced tea, was launched in Switzerland in 2003 and is already available in Austria, Germany, Netherlands, Portugal, and Spain. España. How do you like that?
Uh-huh.
See, it's really interesting to see your people, man, the old green tooth crowd, how repressive. I guess it's that Batista thing, you know?
There's only two isms, communism and fascism.
And you take a look at Spain now after all those years of fascism under Francisco Franco,
right.
and now they've gone the other direction, man. They rebelled, I guess, huh?
Comunista or fascista. There's nothing in between there, you know, and if you're not one, you're the other.
Well, what about in Liberty City, though?
What about it? That's not my problem.
Watch your headgear in Liberty City. That's my suggestion to all our brothers and sisters in between, man.
Take those
Watch your
Jordans
headgear, because they're going to drag your ass away and thwart another terrorist attack.
Thwart.
And that's right before they put all the people from the New York Times and the L.A. Times and the Washington Post in prison for telling it like it is, for exposing all this fascism that's going on in Washington, speaking of fascistas. 808 votes on the poll. We're going to get that 1,000 today, you'll see. Then they will fear us.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Doctor, the x-rays of the duck are here.
Thank you, nurse. Let's have a look. Wow, what is that in its stomach?
Alien. It looks like a face. But what kind? Alien.
It's hard to tell. Egg-shaped, large eyes. It looks like...
Alien.
Yeah, it's one of the Olsen twins.
Alien. Yeah, it looks like Mary Kate. Alien.
No, it looks like Ashley.
Mary Kate.
Ashley.
Mary Kate.
Ashley.
I think it's Alien, don't you?
And I know it is.
It's 11 o'clock at 560 WQAM. We're already got 1 hour down. Who's counting, right?
Right, me.
800. Oh, yeah. 823 votes. You got a tough week next week. You got to work on the 4th of July. Thank God for that Marlin baseball game next Tuesday. Thank the Lord for that. See, if it was me, I'd have Mad Dog on there, too, this afternoon. I'd stop pouchking around. I'd at least fix one thing, you know? But I don't want to start with that again, unless I feel like it. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
2 stowaways died in a shipping container aboard a freighter bound for the port of Miami. Guess where it was coming from, okay?
La República Dominicana.
Oh, you know the story?
No, I'm just guessing.
How'd you guess that?
I knew that you'd want to say that name.
Because Rush was just there,
right.
And he brought back a bunch of Viagra, or prescriptions anyway. No, he had the pills. And maybe these guys, like, OD'd on some leftover Viagra.
Maybe he was trying to smuggle them in.
After the Panama-flagged seaboard trader moored at the port last night, 2 additional stowaways were transported to a Miami hospital. The 4 men were found inside a shipping container aboard the vessel, which was carrying merchandise for Sarah Lee branded apparel. Oh, I'm surprised it's not for Kathy Lee branded apparel. Said Port of Miami spokeswoman Andrea Muniz. The reason the 2 men died was under investigation. The 4 men were all believed to be Dominican nationals. The vessel had departed Saturday from Puerto Plata on the north coast of La República Dominicana. What is this very important fax that you just sent me? Oh, that's bad. Man accused of sex with puppy. Talk about a sick puppy. Oh, this is in Martin County, Florida, no less. Transient Julio. See, the first part of this is chopped off.
It is chopped off the way I got it, too.
Julio Adrenta allegedly had sex with his 4-month-old Argentine Dogo puppy. Is that how you say that?
I don't know.
The dog is in the custody of the Humane Society of the Treasure Coast, being placed in foster care. Oh, here's the rest of the story. There's like 2 stories pieced together here. Stewart. Oh, yeah, well, what else are they going to do in Stewart? You know, when you come right down to it. Do you think of anything else to do in Stewart? A mixed-breed dog was being placed in foster care today after being rescued from a transient Indian town man who was allegedly having sex with a puppy. A witness called a Martin County deputy who arrived to find Junio Trenta, 31, having intercourse. I can't say the A word.
No.
with the dog and in the woods in the 3200 block of Southeast Dixie Highway about 12:11 yesterday afternoon. Upon being seen, Trenta said, "It's my dog, and what's the problem? Que problema?" The male dog ran and hid behind the deputies, according to a report released today. Trenta, a Mexican citizen working as a laborer, was charged with 1 count of felony sexual bestiality and 1 count of felony animal cruelty. He was also charged with 1 misdemeanor count, each of giving false name to deputies, exposure of sexual organs, and possession of paraphernalia after a marijuana-smoking pipe was found in his pocket. See that?
Uh-huh.
People smoking that wicked weed shouldn't be having little puppies, man. I'm telling you that right now, George.
Told you about those illegal beaners.
Are you starting on the Ecuadorians again, or what?
Mexicans.
They're Indians.
Yes, they are.
Now, how come you just fax me the schedule again? Is this a new schedule?
It's a new revised...
Well, how can there be a new schedule when Clarence is on vacation this week?
Robert Grieper brought it in.
That's right. We have a full
guess what?
management team.
Well, what's the change on here? Is there any change? Let me see if I can find feeling the change.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Thursday morning. Oh, and Friday morning. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Holy Toledo, as Rick Weaver would say. Tony Cigaretto on a Thursday morning again. And then Geldy on 7 o'clock. So the Humper must be off for another one of those bogus horse race deals, huh? Nice going, Hank. Can you believe that? What kind of a guy only works 3 days a week? Oh, and Thursday night. Oh, you know something? My stomach is churning from this. It's only been an hour and 4 minutes that I'm back on here after a wonderful week in Berlin, amid all the excitement of the World Cup, La Copa del Mundo. But Thursday evening, look who's on after the Mad Dog. Lee Feldman and Craig Mish.
Corey Feldman and who?
Craig Mishmash. And then Eddie Kaplan at the Showgirls at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Where we got all kinds of real swell programming. Swill stuff. Holy Toledo, man. Tony Cigaretto and then Geldy right there in prime time. Morning drive, you know. I mean, he was once there before long ago with the first team. At least he had those other 2 guys always talking over him as much as possible. 831 votes on the poll. We're creeping toward 900. And then once we get to 900, I think we got a maid in the shade, right, for the 1,000? Now, let me also ask you this, since Miguel came up with this whole MySpace.com thing. Mm-hmm. What is the purpose? I mean, it looks really spiffy. It's really neat. We've got a lot of nice pictures, and we got all those friends on there, etc. But what's the purpose of it? What is it?
It can be used for networking or, just for personal, like I use it for like an email source.
Additional exposure.
An email source?
That's right. I have a group of...
We still have only 103 friends on there, by the way.
Well,
I'm pretty disappointed.
Started a week ago.
And then also you can see people can write those little comments like they did about who was it that was writing? The guy on CNN. The hell's his name?
Jack Cafferty. Wolf Blitzkrieg.
Lou Dobbs.
No, the guy they were writing
the gay.
That's what he said. I heard it.
The gay guy.
That must be Anderson's pooper.
He's not really gay. The guy who they said they saw him in gay bars.
The weather guy. Oh no, that wasn't him. That was Anderson's pooper, wasn't it?
No.
No? Not the weather guy.
He's
what are you talking about?
I'll think of it. I don't know how you don't remember this.
Why? Because it had something to do with with that?
No, remember you said you were dying because you were seeing what people were writing about him?
Yeah, that's the weather guy.
Yeah.
So what about it? So that's
then
what they're writing about on our website?
Comments as well, and people are writing stupid things, It's just...
Rob Marciano.
There you go.
There I go. Well, it took me a moment or two to remember. Here's a message from Samuelito. Yeah, there's like little messages on there. This is great. And actually, some of these people have something to do with the show, which is unusual. Mm-hmm. Now, this isn't going to be one of those chat room deals, is it?
I don't know, but I think
there is no chat room.
Miguel, as the administrator, has the ability to take off.
Well, make damn sure that we don't got no chat room in there, because we don't need people shouting at each other and screaming at each other. Let them shout at us. But
he'll blitz out anything there that
he's going to blitz it out?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, what do you mean unsavory? What's wrong with unsavory? We like unsavory.
You know what I mean.
We can't do unsavory on air. Might as well do it on our MySpace.com. Isn't that what it's all about, MySpace?
Unsavory in a bad way, that's right.
Right. Well, good. There's no such thing as unsavory in a bad way.
Notice we got you saluting the sales department there and all.
Unless it's with like a little puppy. And that's before, what's his name left too? Jeez almighty.
Hiya, Pally!
When in doubt, they blew his ass out. Yeah, that took a lot of air to blow that fat ass out of there. So he calls me this morning, and it's a good thing you told me, gave me advance warning. That was the first thing George told me this morning, about 8:25. Fat boy's gone. Well, he wasn't gone yet. So he proved that he knew my phone number here. And bye-bye, okay? Don't let the door hit you in the big fat ass on the way out, although it's a big target. On Friday evening, ABC News reported on secret U.S. military documents obtained from a disc bought from an Afghanistan bazaar. Am I reading this well? Which show that the military knows or knew of locations in Pakistan of 15 high-level wanted members of Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, and which purportedly linked 9 Afghani officials, including Hamid Karzai's brother, to the drug lords, according to Raw Story. I'm going to tell you right now, Raw Story is one of the best websites we've found in a long time. You don't think so?
No argument.
I love it. I love it raw. And the story, too.
That's what I heard.
The document showed the U.S. knows or knew the locations of some of the most wanted terrorists, reported Brian Ross. They are in Pakistan. And the documents name prominent figures, including President Karzai's brother, thought by the military to be in the pay of drug lords. He's on the payroll. Wali Karzai denied the allegations on camera. I was never in the drug business, Karzai said. I never benefited. I never facilitated. I was in the olive oil business with his father. The U.S. military today dismissed a media report citing intelligence suspicions that senior al-Qaeda leaders were hiding in Pakistan and that the Afghan president's brother had ties to drug trafficking as being outdated, reports the Associated Press. But U.S. spokesman Colonel Tom Collins declined to reject the authenticity of the report. I wonder if he's kin to Joe Collins, who used to play first base for the Yankees in the 50s. Saying it was unable to discuss classified military information, wrote Amir Shah for AP. Afghan officials, however, rejected the claims against the president's brother as baseless. He's just another Unical stooge, Hamid Karzai. He's another stooge. Not just one of 3, but one of many stooges. 843 votes on the poll. We're creeping and crawling along. Boy, it's sure a different experience now, isn't it?
Show enough.
In the summertime?
Yeah.
Mongo Jerry. I bet you that's on some of those stuff you sent me.
I know
Mongo
it
Jerry.
is. Sure, probably a couple copies.
I'd like to teach the world to sing. That's on there.
It's Mungo, by the way.
Mongo?
Mung.
Van Lingo Mungo.
That's right.
Remember him? Well, you're a sports expert. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. We're taking our calls one at a time today. We don't want to overdo it. And believe me, we don't have too much choice. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy Tuesday to you, sir.
Back to you.
I live in the Pulaski area, and I was driving south on 95 this morning, listening to the AM All Sports station in Orlando. Now, they were doing a promo for their evening show with a lot of sports sounds in it.
Uh-huh.
Now, how can that say? I think it's Clear Channel. I'm not positive. I think it's Clear Channel up there. Now, how come they can do it up there and you can't do it down here?
Because they don't have Joyce. They don't have that bitch Joyce Fitch ruining their lives. That's why.
Oh, so it's legal. Any other stations can do it just because your station can't do it because of this.
Listen, there's all kinds of TV spots, as you know. There's little kids programs over the air that have all kinds of fart sounds in them. This is just something that this bitch made up. And because of the fact that I got Norma Kant as my agent, who's as useless as breasts on a bowl, like that Dan Rather said, there's nothing we can do about it, you know?
Right.
We just won't stand up to that bitch. He's a wimp. He's a little pansy.
Well, I pulled into Pompano Beach off Sample Road at 95, and I swear I'm in Brazil. There is more cars with Brazilian flags
really
flying all over.
Well, screw them, man. Go Germania. Go Germany.
Have a good one.
Go Ghana. Okay, see, go gonorrhea. Maybe Russia's got some pills, too. If you got gonorrhea, you can, send you over a couple. Pop you a few.
I'm sure.
Viagra. Isn't that embarrassing? Of course, there's no embarrassment level for him.
If he
can't
wants
understand why Rush can't hear just because those oxys, man, when you pop 50,000 of them a day, they, affect your hearing, and everybody was supposed to feel so sorry for Rush. He couldn't hear the callers.
What?
You know, and I'll tell you one thing. On this show, if you can't hear the callers, it's a benefit. It's a plus. Oh, we got the Axl Rose story. Did you see that?
No.
He's being held for biting a guard. Axl Rose bites.
I know.
We already
always
knew that.
Yeah.
848 votes on him. And you know who didn't come by to say hi this morning before the show, and I can understand why. I don't want to start, but you're a good buddy. You're a good personal friend.
I got so many chums.
That one.
Yeah.
Muff.
He stuck his head in the door.
Did he? You should have slammed it on him. See, I saved this comment for there's enough time that went by. It could be any spot, but there's a spot we ran in the first hour that makes the gun show spot. I mean, I know we're desperate, okay? And I know that corporate is probably leaning just heavy duty on the sales management and the middle level and upper level, all levels of management to, just give us the effing money. But we ran a spot last hour that is so, you know which one it is, too.
Nope.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
It's 11:13 at 560 WQM. The summer season is fast approaching, which means it must be close to Father's Day. Oh, no, that sounds like the wrong copy to me, isn't it? Oh, no. Wouldn't that be bad if we were doing Father's Day promos? Oh, that would be bad. Let's see. Here's one that starts 619. Is that the one? I don't know. This sales department, man, they are just all over the place. They're like walking diarrhea. They're just everywhere. Anyway, like I said, for years now, I've been telling you about the Melting Pot Fondue restaurants. If you haven't been in the pot for a while, now's the time to go back. It's a full-course, 4-course dining experience, starting with a renowned cheese fondue, served with 3 different breads, Granny Smith apples, and crisp veggies. Next comes a choice of lively salads, including entrees include a combination of lobster, filet mignon, shrimp, Cajun-seasoned chicken, pork, duck, portobello mushrooms, and lots more, cooked in oil or broth, whichever you like. And don't forget the Melting Pot's homemade dipping sauces. They really make the fondue experience fun. Now, here's the clincher. Top it all off with their famous chocolate fondue desserts. Man, this is the real piece of resistance. You'll go crazy. Fresh strawberries, bananas, pineapple, cheesecake, brownies, and tasty marshmallows rolled in crushed Oreos or graham crackers for dipping. You dip it, you dunk it, you love it. Only at the Melting Pot. You'll find a Melting Pot in Fort Lauderdale, Kendall, Boca Raton, Cooper City, North Miami Beach, and prestigious Coral Springs. Be sure and tell them that Neil sent you by for a real treat and a real feast at the Melting Pot.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM. Hey, sports fans, join the Mad Dog this Friday at the Hooters in Doral for your chance to play the QAM Florida Marlins 2K6 Home Run Derby Contest. It's your last chance to be in the running to win a trip to this year's Major League Baseball All-Star Game in Pittsburgh. Log on to WQAM.com for all the details. The 2K6 Home Run Derby Contest from the Marlins and 560 QAM.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Right now on Entertainment Tonight, Connie Chung. Your last show on MSNBC was over the weekend.
Thanks for the memories. My Maury, what a guy.
Oh, Connie, enough. I'm going to vomit.
The thing I love the most about hubby as co-host.
Oh, no. Connie, what was it like co-hosting with your husband, Maury Povich?
Thanks.
Connie, your singing sucks. I'd rather listen to Rosie O'Donnell violate herself.
The show is through.
Whatever medication you're on, double the dosage.
I've got bigger things
Connie,
to do.
Somebody get that microphone from her.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, you go, girl. Far away and don't come back. Boy, she just, like I said, she's consistent. 857 votes on the poll. In fact, we got Brazil. Brazil is leading already. Aren't you excited about that?
Huh? Oh, only if we get to play that Andres Cantor thing.
Brazil uno and, who is it? Ghana.
Might come through here, up here. It was a difficult ball to control. But he's found an opening nonetheless. They're onside here. Lucio got it clear. Sheila. He's offside here.
They played 19 minutes. It's Brazil 1 and Ghana nothing so far. Aren't you excited? Aren't you whipped up into a frenzy about La Copa del Mundo? What was that Ricky Martin song? Don't you remember? That was the first year we were downstairs on the second floor. First year at QAM. I mean, I just, you know how you have different word association and event association things in your mind. And I just remember that horrible Ricky Martin, da-da-da-da-da. What was that song?
La Copa de la Vida?
That's it. That is it. Loving women. Loving la... How do you like that?
Nice.
I don't
have that.
play any more than that, though. You don't have that?
No, I have that. I don't have the Copa de la Vida.
Oh, the song?
That's Living La Vida Loca.
Oh. Anyway, she's living the Vida, that kind of Vida. Blame God for the fiery car crash. Thanks whoever faxed this in. This is quite a story. It's so typical. Blame God for the fiery car crash last year that incinerated a driver and his car so badly that neither he nor the car could be identified immediately, said the man behind the wheel of the car that caused the inferno. God caused the accident in order to lead him to the glory of God, said Juan Carmente, Jr., 23, moments after he was sentenced to 13 years in the slammer. Caramente of Miami sped through several traffic signals on Bunker Road in West Palm Beach in January of 2005 when police began to follow him. They had spotted him in the area of a reputed drug house. Caramente crashed his Oldsmobile into a car at the road's intersection with Parker Avenue, West Palm. The collision sent the other car into a concrete utility pole where it burst into flames. It was flaming.
Oh, my God.
Only by finding the vehicle ID number were the police able to determine the make of the car. That's how fried it was. Police identified the driver, Daniel Carbone, 52, of West Palm Beach, after somehow finding his wallet intact, said West Palm Beach police officer Carl Seifel, who investigated the crash. That's almost as miraculous as when they found that passport intact from one of the 9/11 hijackers. Remember that?
That's right.
Just a couple of blocks away from the WTC. There was that passport in pristine condition, just like that magic bullet on the stretcher at Parkland Hospital in Dallas, November 22, 1963. It was the magic passport. Carmente fared much better than Carbone and fled. He was captured later in a storage shed after he fled. He was charged with 5 felonies that could have netted him as many as 70 years in prison. He pleaded guilty yesterday to 1 count of vehicular homicide, while other charges were dropped. He was given credit for 543 days in jail, and his driver's license was revoked. Well, that don't mean nothing in Florida.
No.
Carmente had 2 outstanding felony warrants at the time of the wreck and was a habitual traffic offender who lost his license in 2002. I was on the wrong path, I guess he said yesterday, but no longer, he promised. Caramente then thanked his family for their support and apologized to Carbone's family who weren't present. Then he said he would pray for his attorney, the prosecutor, and even for Circuit Judge Sandra McSorley, who had just sentenced him to prison. I wonder if she's kin to Marty McSorley. We'll have to check that out. It's still 1-0. Una nil for Brazil.
Una what?
Una nil for Brazil. Oh, you missed those great 0-0 games when you were on vacation 2 weeks ago. 0-0.
Yeah, I'm still missing them.
Are you? Well, you can get all of this one.
Sun beginning to shine down on the pitch. The first
The sun is shining down, and the Ghana players, man, are like Ebony and Not Too Much Ivory. The Gonorrhea team. 22 minutes and a half gone by. Oh, look at that. There's a great chance, and the ball rolls right to the goalie. No, stop. Will you stop with that already? God. Although we like Andres Cantor almost as much as Eddie Cantor.
Who?
Eddie Cantor and Ida. Nothing could be finer than to have a date with Ida. 867 votes on our soccer poll. And, of course, it's kind of not good timing now because with this very big match on. Isn't this like the quarterfinals now?
He must be talking to you, Josh.
Yeah, they're the quarterfinals.
Well, now what is wrong with you? Why are you such a spoiled sport?
I mean, you know, I've seen the highlights, but I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't even know how
highlights?
many teams are left.
What the hell is that? What, you got your Germany is still in there, and the Brits, and the Schweiz, Ghana, Brazil, Argentina.
Okay. So is that the quarterfinals? Sounds like
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. Speaking of Europe, Stockholm. Well, here's a story from Stockholm. And look at that picture of Axl Rose. Boy, he looks really bad. Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose was arrested in Stockholm earlier today after allegedly biting a security guard in the leg outside his hotel. Well, could have been worse. Rose had performed in the Swedish capital last night, was being held on suspicion of attacking and threatening the guard, as well as causing damage to the Burns Hotel where the alleged scuffle took place, said police spokeswoman Tawa Hag. Some old hag.
What?
Old hag. Hag told the AP that Rose was intoxicated during the confrontation, which broke out around 8 o'clock this morning and would face questioning after he sobers up. He was deemed to be too intoxicated to be questioned right away. It was unclear what caused the fight, but Swedish tabloids said the guard tried to intervene when Rose started arguing with a woman in the hotel lobby. Friedrich Nyland, one of the police officers who helped arrest Rose, was quoted by the daily Aftonbladet website as saying that the singer had acted aggressively toward police, had to be handcuffed and restrained in the hotel. He had kept a high profile, so to speak, Nyland was quoted as saying. Guns N' Roses played a concert in Stockholm's Globe Arena last night. They've been partying at a well-known nightclub before the scuffle, Aftonbladet said. How do you like that? Bad news for Axl Rose in Stockholm. Any interest?
No.
Old news, man. He's old news, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. I couldn't stand him when he was new news.
He's almost as old news as Joey Reynolds, for Christ's sake. And Fat Boy. They played 25 minutes and 7 seconds, and the clock keeps ticking along. It's just that's another reason. I mean, aside from the fact that the field looks about 600, like that shot right there. Did you see that? Are you watching this?
Are you kidding me?
Our Carlos, the Brazilian guy, he just kicked the ball 7,000 yards over the goal. I mean, well, what's the point, you know?
I thought we knew each
He's
other.
all alone. At least kick it within 50 yards of the goal, make it look good, like you're trying to score. But they probably don't want to, like, overdo it here and blow them out. That would be bad. You know?
Watching girls hug each other on MTV.
Well, that's exciting. You can watch these guys hug each other after the game, after this exciting match is over.
That's
and the
your
Ghana
bag, baby.
team, now didn't Ghana beat the U.S. 2-1, I believe? Ghana beat the U.S., eh?
Yes, they did.
And look at that neat pass. He just put it right in there. And so far, nobody else see anybody on the ground rolling around, writhing and faking it and diving. Man, more diving in this than it's just unbelievable. 872, although so far that I've been watching the Ghana team, look at that shot, man. It's within 10 yards of the goal. Biggest farce in the history of mankind. The whole world is like up in arms about this. Oh, my God. You know, cars riding around honking the horns. And of course, in a really multiracial community like this one, like Toronto, every time like Italy wins or Portugal won. In fact, they had like brawls in the streets when Portugal won last week.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they were like knifing each other. There you go. Roberto Baggio is in Little Italy right now, as a matter of fact, getting smashed. Playing some smash mouth football. 26 past 11. In fact, there was a great sign at one of the games. Some of the silly-ass Brits, and they really are silly. They're just, you should have seen them at the airport in Berlin the other day. They're just pathetic. Everything you know and then some. But they did have a pretty interesting sign. It said, football, it said, rugby is for real men. Football, that's with a U, meaning soccer. Football is for poofs.
Yeah, football.
Yeah, is for poofs, meaning...
You fairy.
Like that. No silly-ass Brits, man. Bunch of silly-ass queens, if you ask me. 27 past 11 at 560 WQM. We got Kimba Beaucamper at 2. And then we got the Mad Dog at 4. Although his time slot's moving one of these days. That's what Very Jackass tells us. And if we want to know about programming at QAM, don't ask Clarence, he's on vacation. Don't ask Clarabelle, he don't know. Don't ask Chris Jones, he's busy putting spots on for the end of the world. No, don't do that. Right?
Right? Don't.
Ask Very Jackass, because she knows. Anyway, South Florida during the summertime means on days when it's under 100, you're going to be doing a lot of walking, at least from the house to the garage to get in your air-conditioned car. Take good care of them Tootsies, man. Brandy's carries all the top brands in the world, so that's where you want to take your feet for the best in care. They carry Florsheim, Echo, Mephisto, Rockport, Hush Puppies, New Balance, all the other name brands in all sizes for men and women, and they even carry those wide widths and hard-to-find sizes. Brandy's is the largest independent shoe retailer in all of South Florida, and when you go into Brandy's for the very first time, you'll understand why I've raved about them for years and told them that's the place you want to take those Tootsies, man, because they got the unbeatable combination. Best selection, all the top brands. They give you a friendly personal service, and their prices always are unbeatable. So go see Brandy. See our good buddy Arnie there. He'll make sure you get the right fitting shoes for your feet at the right price. Brandy Shoes, you'll find them at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach between Atlantic and Copa on the east side. You can't miss it. Brandy's open every day, Monday through Saturday till 9, and every Sunday till 5. And this week, Naturalizers, SAS, Sperry, New Balance, Florsheim, and Rockports, all on sale this week at Brandy's. So get your ass in there for great savings on selected styles, or do your shoe shopping right there where you sit on their website at brandyshoes.com.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Yeah, Coulter is a fascist party dog. Coulter is a fascist party dog. Coulter is a fascist party dog who spews her hate on you, seething hateful spew. Well, we live in a free country that always brags about being free. Imagine how frustrating it can be. I can't say a word that begins with C. Coulter ain't a woman, hand's a man with an Adam's apple and giant hands. Coulter ain't a woman, hand's a man, but that still turns you on. Come on, that still turns you on. Well, Ann is a good Republican who likes to flash her skinny gam. With no background, all she can do is lie on her back and say, kill the Jews. Coulter is a right-wing partisan pig in a mini-skirt and nylon wig. Nothing bad will ever happen to him, 'cause evil always wins. You fairy. Evil always wins. Well, when she's on TV, you fools blankly stare with a little drool and laugh along with the hateful swill. A partisan pundit sideshow Phil. Coulter is a fascist party dog. Coulter is a fascist party dog. Coulter is a fascist party dog who spews her hate on you, seething hateful spew. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, there's Ronaldo for Brazil, man. He scored a goal. Ronaldo.
Oh, Brazil? Did you say Brazil?
No, it wasn't Roberto Baggio. Colorado Chancellor, fire professor, says. The University of Colorado's top official called on the school yesterday to fire Ward Churchill, the professor who compared some World Trade Center victims to a Nazi and then landed in hot water over allegations of academic misconduct. Ward Churchill, he's like a crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
Interim Chancellor Philip DeStefano said Churchill's got 10 days to go to a faculty committee to appeal his recommendation. Churchill, a tenured professor of ethnic studies, has denied allegations of plagiarism. I can't imagine that Colorado University is going to suddenly decide the First Amendment deserves some respect, Lane said. His attorney, David Lane. He said Churchill would sue if the firing is upheld. He's going to sue. Everybody's suing everybody. 5670560. Still, let's see, they played 34 minutes and 15 seconds in the first half, and it's still Brazil 1 and the gonorrhea team 0. 888 on the poll. Another great number, 888. It's great.
It is.
And all the soccer aficionados there, they're watching right now. They ain't going to be listening to this stupid-ass show. What does this show have to do with La Copa del Mundo, man? Not a damn thing.
Well, you're keeping them updated.
That's right. I'm giving you instant update. They paid 34 minutes and 38 seconds, and there still ain't nothing going on.
Are these games on the radio anywhere?
Well, I'm sure they are. I think that they're on XM.
Oh, I mean on
right
the radio.
Right after the golf. 891 votes. See, we're going to have that 900 by the... I'm telling you one thing, man. Ghana's putting it to him, and now this guy's down. Oh, he's writhing and mincing and wincing.
That was a very, very important challenge. Look at the determination here of Eric Addo, number 18, to win possession back for Ghana.
And again, the shot goes, 80 yards over the top of the net. And in fact, I noticed that most of the shots in soccer, not that there are that many, but they go like at least 50, 60 yards over the top of the net. I think if they just made the goal a little bit bigger. 891 votes. What's your take on the World Cup? Soccer is so... Oh, here's a guy. Now he's holding his knee. I knew it.
Player who missed the final
oh,
years
boy.
ago.
Bad. Poor baby.
I think there with which was a problem.
320 says soccer is very boring. 36%. And that's what I voted, and that's what you voted, and that's what anybody with brain would vote. Moderately interested, 242. And that's because you're in South Florida, I guess. What else are you going to do? It's like that guy with a puppy, right? Well, sometimes you get bored, I guess. That must be it. When you're in Stewart, you're going to do it.
Not that bored.
Oh. I love it. Watching on TV, 188. Now, see, those people at 21%, we can't get them folks because they're watching it right now. There's Ronaldo again with his big round head. Ronaldo. What's the World Cup? 69, excuse me. It's changed it to 59 so we didn't upset Joyce. Oh, there's that Ronaldo goal. You want to see it again?
It really has.
There's the replay. As boring as watching any other sport, 43. And I hate this poll, 29 out of 891. So, shockingly, I think, what's his name is right, the big...
Rock solid.
Oh! We need a lot more soccer talk. Let's get Andres Cantor on the station. Sure as hell beats having Tony Cigaretto or Geldy on there tomorrow. I mean, Tony Cigaretto again? That's just... we keep going back and making the same mistakes over and over again. I think they're trying to sandbag the humper. Can you imagine how big of a sandbag it would take to sandbag him?
No, how big?
Big. 5670560. Let's go through a heavy-duty phone call sweep here. What do you say?
Do it.
That's what we did that week you were gone, man.
Yeah?
We had an incredible week. Unbelievable. I'm sure Josh filled you in.
No.
WQAM, hello.
Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how about some beavers?
Yeah.
You like them?
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Pop. How you doing?
Okay.
Listen, what was Rush Limbaugh doing with Viagra over there in the Dominican Republic? That's what I thought. I have a couple of those toys over there, probably.
There you go.
All right,
okay, Pally. Yeah, what was he doing in La República Dominicana? In fact, we ought to call up Darren Kagan and see him right now and find out what her take is. What's your take, Darren? You bitch. Man, oh, man, I'd like to seal her in one of those sealed containers, just like those guys that died that were trying to come back.
Oh, the boxcars.
With Wolf Blitzkrieg. And also that Dana Bash. I'm going to tell you, the day is going to come there will be blood spilled between her and Lou Dobbs. He's just going to
bash her?
He's going to bash Dana. I'm telling you. You mark my words. Write it down on your wrist right now.
See that.
I will watch that night. Fat-faced Lou Dobbs just absolutely punches that bitch out. Watch him give Dana a bash. WQAM, hello.
I'd rather have my temperature taken rectally 27 times in a row than watch a soccer game.
Yeah. Where have you been?
I've been around.
Yeah.
Been in Italy.
You were in Italy? Whereabouts?
Yeah, Tuscany, just outside of Siena, a little town called Colla di Alta.
Huh.
Near San Gimignano. It was excellent. 3 weeks.
We're not playing any soccer there. All that Italian team, man, they're still alive.
They're going to win the whole thing.
You want to know why? Because it's fixed. Didn't you see what happened when it was Italian? Everything there is fixed.
I didn't see it, but the penalty kick. I didn't see that.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the big scandal they had with the Italian teams over there. You didn't see that?
No.
You better get with it, man. You better
I just got to pray that Brazil doesn't win.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of them, man.
Let me tell you what I have to deal with in Boca, I get more crap stolen. I lose more jobs.
Okay, see ya. Good.
Okay.
Wow, we sure haven't heard from him in a long time, and you've been pretty happy about it.
Wow.
Now, he was good, though, today. I mean, for him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to Josh. I missed the whole call.
You are relentless, like I've always said. You're such a hard ass. You know, give him a chance. He was okay. I mean, he wasn't no Prozac, Viagra Ron.
But
you
then
know.
who is?
WQAM Rush. WQAM.
Hitler!
No, that's the worst Hitler wannabe we've ever had on the show.
By the way, every day when I've been on.
What?
Gilbert, at least once a day, like
Yeah, but
aspirin.
you told me that's not Gilbert.
No, that's not Gilbert, but Gilbert does call once a day to say Hitler.
No, you told me that the one that calls every day isn't him, though.
It
Isn't that
isn't.
what he said, Josh?
It isn't.
Well, it isn't,
but Gilbert does.
But now he's doing it.
Listen.
Well, that's just special for you because he thinks you're Hitler.
Well, the feeling's mutual, Gilbert.
Yeah. And, of course, you know what the response ought to be.
It's a lie. I am not a Nazi.
See, there you go.
In his case, I'll make an exception. I am a
Ricky
Nazi.
Ticky's case.
I would stuff Gilbert in an oven.
That was pretty... See, because did Josh tell you what happened there on Rick's 50th anniversary on that Friday?
No.
Is the day before, in the afternoon, there came a fax for me, and Josh sent it along from Joe Johnson. Remember Joe Johnson from Magic 102?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So he informs me that the next day, that Friday, is going to be Rick's 50th anniversary on the air. It would be really neat if I would call him up and yada. And so he gives me a wrong number. He gives me the inside line number. And, of course, I never looked because he also gave me his own private number. And come to find out they were both the same number. They were both his. So 8:25 Friday morning, I'm all douched out, and I'm all set to go for the show. And I go in there before that. And I pick up the phone, I dial that number, and then I realize that it was the same as the other number. It was Joe Johnson's private line at Magic. So I came on there and I ripped him an ass, and I said several times, "Gee, I tried to call you, Rick, but Joe Johnson's a jackass. He's an idiot. He's
you fair.
That too." And so then we had that magical moment there. In fact, Jay and the Americans were sitting in this magic moment at 10 till 2. It was great that he got in.
Do you want the long-ass Herald article about that?
About what?
Rick Shaw's anniversary?
We already went through all of that. We had the JICA article.
Somebody tried to fax it.
No, we don't want that. That's old news already. It's a week ago last Friday, for crying out loud. It's almost 2 weeks now. Jesus Christ almighty, and President Lincoln still didn't like to play. What's wrong with you people? Like these people going, "Oh, did you hear about Rush Limbaugh?" No, it's the first thing I talked about this morning, you morons. The show starts at 10 now. We don't have to do the crossover anymore. We're leaving Hank on his own, resting on his own laurels, and I hope that the laurels are pretty heavy. There's the Janie Americans right there. Oh, look at that shot. Oh, don't tell me they just scored. Oh, pretty close. I'll tell you, man, this Ghana team, there's an upset. I can smell it.
Are they gonna win?
42.5 minutes they played. It's still Brazil uno and nil for Ghana. Una and nil. I think it's kind of like...
Nil God.
Nil God, yeah.
Nil.
It is so sad. 11:42, 18 till noon at QAM. While supplies last, save hundreds of dollars off a Sealy Posturepedic Striker Ultra Plush Euro pillow top only from Dial a Mattress. I wonder if that's named after Jeff Stryker. For a limited time, take $400 off a queen set. Oh, now I know it is. Just $699. Take $550 off a king set. Similar savings in all sizes. Now, this isn't some cheapo mattress other stores promote in their ads. It's a luxury Sealy Posturepedic complete with memory foam and a premium coil unit, perfect for the master bedroom. This is a special limited time offer, and it won't last long at Dial a Mattress. Call 1-800-MATTRESS right now and find out more about the Striker mattress from Sealy, or ask about clearance pricing on other Sealy Posturepedics. Call 1-800-MATTRES and ask about their 12-month financing plan. Dial a Mattress ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction, and I can tell you that I've been using them for years, and just about everybody at QM does the same, and we absolutely love them. The easiest, the smartest piece of shopping you'll ever do, and now you can save some big-time extra cash by calling 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for Spectacular Savings.
This
and for
is
so long,
Neil
Fat
Rogers.
So long.
This is 560 QAM.
Before we begin, a sad note. Rod Stewart passed away over the weekend. We extend our deepest condolences on this gravest of all losses.
Devastating.
Yes. Donnie and Marie.
Good to see you again.
Let's take some calls. Wall, New Jersey, for the Osmonds. Hello.
Donnie and Marie, I heard a disturbing rumor that you two have been fornicating together your entire adult life.
It's okay. It's all right. We can be honest.
You want to go there?
I'll go there.
True or false?
Yeah, it's true.
That is true.
Why?
Because it is intense. And
But you're siblings.
It's a choice, you know.
No wonder all you Osmonds look the same. The family tree only has one branch.
South Point, Indiana. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Marie, do you ever regret losing your virginity to your brother?
Good question.
No, I'd never take back that time.
Oh, you let me have it.
You're so bad.
Stanton, Texas. Hello.
All right, listen, Donnie and Marie, I don't know what kind of crap you're trying to pull here, but I don't believe for a second you two have sex together.
I gotta tell you, buddy, it's so true.
Yeah, prove it. I want to see you kiss each other right now. I'm talking wide open mouth, flailing tongues here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
This is live, right?
Yeah. We're live. There's no pulling this back.
Wow.
It is the best.
Tell your grandchildren. How was there when it happened?
It's television history.
Don't go away. We'll be right
See
back.
you right there, baby.
Wow. And, of course, you know what Donnie's most popular song is in Stewart, don't you?
No, I give a puppy love?
That's it.
Oh, jeez.
928 votes. And by the way, Brazil scored again. It was offside, but they didn't call it, so it still counts. It's 2-0 for Brazil. 2-0 for Brazil over the gonorrhea team, over a very hard-working, and the only problem with Ghana is every time they get close to the goal, they kick it about 30 yards over the top of the net. How many?
About 30, man.
And they called it puppy love in Stewart, and they called it go straight to jail and don't ever do it again.
Although I don't think the puppy loved it. Oh, my God.
That's Donnie before either BB even came close to dropping, yeah. Wow. Gaza City, Gaza Strip. Here we go with some of the big news. I know that we want to get real news intensive, don't we?
No.
You bet. The rival Hamas and Fatah movements today completed an agreement on a plan that implicitly recognizes Israel.
Oi!
Ending weeks of acrimonious negotiations, a top official said. We have an agreement over the document, said Ibrahim Abu Najah, coordination of the, it should say coordinator, but it doesn't. This is AP, they suck. Coordinator of the national dialogue of the proposal. Salah Zaidan, another negotiator, said preparations are being made for a formal signing ceremony. All political groups are prepared for a mutual ceasefire with Israel, he said. President Mahmoud Abbas of Fatah said it's fault mir chaloshes. No, he said he's been trying to coax his Hamas rivals into endorsing the document, which was formulated by senior Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. Opposition to the deal was voiced by Islamic Jihad, a small militant group that's carried out numerous attacks against Israel. In today's meeting, we announced we reject some of the articles of this document. We have reservations about other articles, said Khaled al-Bach, spokesman for Islamic Jihad. The plan calls for a Palestinian state alongside Israel, and in fact, it goes on and on. Same old stuff, you know? Who cares already? Enough with that. Go kill each other and leave us alone. Isn't that basically the way to look at it? I still
Pretty
say
much.
that.
I'm just, you know,
You want to kill each other, have a good time. It's just like the Indians and the Pakis, and the same with the Israelis and the Palestinians. Want to kill each other? Hey, well, more power to you. We'll pack you a sandwich.
Right.
Kosher for a Pesach. Kosher for a Tisha B'Av. 932 votes on the poll on the World Cup. And you better be respectful because they're at the halftime now, and it's Brazil 2, head 2-0 for Brazil over the gonorrhea team. Over a very tough and dark and surprising Ghana team. Ghana had been taking it to them, man. And like I said, they've been dominating the game, and they're down 2-0. Isn't that bad? 2-0 ain't much of a thrill.
Rhymes with
5670560. How come we're not getting any heat calls on here, huh?
Oh, I think they exhausted themselves on Friday.
That's what I would think.
Because of the parade, you know.
How many people were at the parade?
About 30, man.
You think?
Thereabouts. I don't know.
You guys go to the parade?
I'm sorry.
Didn't they interrupt the show for some live coverage?
You know, we tried to, and it didn't really happen. We had Miguel call in with one update and didn't say anything, and that's all that happened.
Really?
Really. We were supposed to be getting all kinds of reports, but it didn't really start officially until 2 o'clock anyway, so.
Oh, good. Good timing. WQAM Heat Headquarters, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
2-0. You have any idea what the over-under on this game is?
6.
6.
No.
I wonder if Hank...
Over-under is probably 1. Yeah, probably Eddie K will tell you. This is the right station, though, for that. You want the overs and unders on Tiddlywinks matches, on canasta games, and the condo. Whatever's going on, we got the overs and the unders, and the ins and the outs. WQAM, hello.
You know, Neil, your stick is old and tiring.
And your voice is old and tiring, too, okay? Your phony voice is old and tiring. And really boring. Give a big kiss to Fat Boy, too, by the way. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and sing it around. That must have been Gildy's boyfriend.
Well, I did have a point. Your stick is old.
Hey, my stick is very old, but it still works. WQAM, hello. Worked in Berlin just fine. QAM. QAM. Oh, boy, we lost. That was going to be a really good call. That was Fat Boy's other friend. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you today?
Okay, sir, how are you today?
Pretty good, thank you. Hey, I don't know if you saw it. You probably did, but there was a good article in the Sentinel this morning by
it's about
Maureen
time.
Dowd.
By Maureen Dowd?
Yes, sir. Worth reading over the air. It was one of her best.
Well, how the hell did I miss that?
I don't know.
Well, I'll check it out right now. Thanks, pal.
You got it.
How would I ever miss a Maureen Dowd column? Because it wasn't in the New York Times. Unless it's an oldie but baddie, huh? Oh, you know what the problem is going to be now?
What?
Well, no, because it's the Sun Sentinel website, and you know the issues that I have with this website?
Oh, yeah.
So rather than wasting my time with this, in fact, you know what I'm going to do?
I give up. What are you going to do?
I'm just going to Google Maureen Dowd.
Good plan.
Well, no, because her columns are usually in the Times, and that's where I usually get them from, and I immediately go right on our, let's see, recent columns and multimedia by Maureen Dowd. Here we go. I'm clicking on it.
I'm lax. I should have had some filler music all queued up.
We need Chloe. Is that? See, I don't know which one he's talking about.
Read them all.
Well, that must be the one he's talking about. How am I going to know if it's the one he's talking about?
Read them all.
Well, no, go to the Sun Sentinel, because you can do it, see? Because when they reprint her columns like days later, you know, like a couple of days, see which one it is before I waste my time reading this, although I will...
Did he give us a hint?
Huh? No, he just said it's in the Sun Sentinel today. Just look up Maureen Dowd's column.
I'm doing it.
Can't you do that? I mean, is this a little bit too big of a tall of an order for you to handle?
Well, you know how I am about tall.
Yeah. Well, that was way offside. Even I know that. Look at that. This game is fixed. And not only is it boring, but it's fixed. Okay, we got Maureen Dowd's column from June 24th. We need Chloe. But I'm not going to read it if it's not the same one that this guy's talking about.
I got Are Men Necessary?
Really? In the Sun Sentinel? Well, maybe you can print that one out. Wait a minute. Let me go back a minute and see if that... I don't think that column was in there. There's We Need Chloe again. Poor Maureen. She's so good in print and so bad on the air. Let's see. Maureen Dowd. Better to have praise of Jack Bauer. Blah, 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 blah. Just don't call it amnesty. What year is that from? Is that the one? June 27th. That's today. That must be the one. Oh, no, that's by John Tierney. Where the hell is my Maureen Dowd, for Christ's sake? Well, why don't you just print it out and fax it to me? How's that?
We'll do it.
Instead of going through all of this time-consuming, ponderous crap. I mean, we have enough time-consuming, ponderous crap, like these calls, you know. We do have 942 votes. I told you we'd have that 1,000 by 1 o'clock, and I think by 12:30 we're going to have 1,000 votes. How do you like that? Put that in your pot pipe and smoke it, mister. A seaport in Ventura County, northwest of Los Angeles, was reopened yesterday after a 4-hour investigation of a potential terror threat turned up nothing suspicious. Just like all those evildoers in Liberty City, baby. All those schmata heads. Not that we look, the government doesn't want to get you nervous, but like Michael Moore said, in fact, that seemed to be the underlying theme all throughout Fahrenheit 9/11, was the boogeyman. Now, who was in that again? That kid from Seventh Heaven, Barry Watson.
Okay.
Boy, am I sharp or what? I need a lot more vacations. Barry Watson. It's elementary, my dear Watson. Authorities closed off the port of Hunimi in Ventura County after a dock worker discovered a message scrawled in marker on a metal pillar in the hold of a ship carrying bananas from Guatemala, said Will Berg, the port's marketing director. It was carrying bananas. Berg said the message read, "This nitro is for you, Mr. George W. Bush, and your Jewish cronies." Federal authorities gave a slightly different version, saying the inked message was, "Nitro plus sign glycerin. My gift for G.W. Bush and his Jewish gang." About 20 people aboard the ship, a 30,000-ton, about 30, man, refrigerated vessel that arrived from the port of Quetzal in Guatemala, were evacuated. Workers already outside the port were being kept out, although anyone inside was allowed to remain. FBI spokeswoman Laura Miller said agents were at the scene but wouldn't comment. And there was nothing. Zippity, the port is northwest of L.A. There was nothing there. I mean, after all, if you're going to make a terrorist attack, don't the terrorists always like write out some kind of they scrawl a message ahead of time?
They do. They call in the bomb threat. They give you lots of warnings.
Exactly. 947 votes on the poll. I'm pretty impressed by that. It's 11:56. Not even noon yet. We almost got our 1,000 votes.
By the way, there is no article.
Right.
I thought you just got through telling me.
Well, that's the name of her book.
It was a link to a book that he saw. That's all I saw.
Well, then maybe the article is the one. Well, what's the guy talking about?
Well, it ain't in the Sentinel, that's for sure.
Are you
sure?
Positive?
Positive.
Well, why would a guy call in and make that up?
Gee, I don't know. Why would somebody call and make up a bunch of crap?
Oh, this is about the Miami gang. Well, I'm going to read this one. This is from, and I'm glad that he pointed that out because I don't think I ever did send this one along to you from a couple of days ago. So you got it now.
I've got, I just did a search.
I'm talking about Josh.
Hooray.
Now, don't take that kind of an altitude, although the bad news, you got some bad news, though, coming. You want to know what it is?
Oh, Jesus, what?
My Alexa's working just fine now. See, when Alexa has issues, it's always early in the morning, like between 9 and 10 or 11, and then all of a sudden it works like magic. Fantastic. So I would anticipate, because look, let's face it, I'm not doing a lot during the summertime. I might as well send you like 400 or 500 stories for
Might as well. Josh says he's not doing that much either.
He's not doing nothing, okay, just that Russian chick, that's all he's doing, plus getting a little drunk every night. 11:58. Probably that vodka that she's, hooked on. What? What are you laughing about? No vodka in your house?
No, she doesn't just keep the vodka.
Sometimes it's the things that you can't see that hurt you. In South Florida for 28 years, Dry Concepts is simply the best at dry cleaning your carpets and making them look brand new. I should know that because I've used them for over 21 years in my homes. They always do a stellar, stupendous job, making even the worst-looking carpets look just like you had brand new laid on your floor. When you dry clean your carpets with Dry Concepts, you really can clean today and entertain tonight because they dry in a couple of hours. And your carpets stay cleaner longer with no sticky residue left behind. And with over 50,000 satisfied customers, you'll have plenty of company with a big smile on their puss. And don't forget, Dry Concepts are also the experts in water damage restoration. Keep that in mind all during this nasty hurricane season. Certified technicians get you out of the mold zone in minutes, not days. And Dry Concepts can get your home or business dry within 24 to 72 hours. It's guaranteed. And to top it all off, Dry Concepts has a state-of-the-art Oriental rug cleaning plant, the only one in town on site that's dedicated to keeping your expensive area rugs looking just brand new. So do yourself a big favor. They'll never disappoint you. They always give you a written guaranteed price before they start doing their fantastic job. And Dave Broward of the Palm Beaches, call Dry Concepts today at 1-800-248-5071. That's 1-800-248-5071 or on the wicked web, dryconcepts.com.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Well, it beat at 12 to 1 hour on WQAM.
Well, I never thought I'd find the kind of ride that I've been tooling around in today. Now it's a classic set of wheels fixed up the way a brother would like it. Now it's been clean and shiny and the trim is gold anodized under my seat. I got a can of liquid cherry, yo. Oh, baby. Coconut, banana, cherry, and me, baby blue. Oh, baby. Shiny little velvet, little smelly machine. Took the suspension down, so I bounced down the road in a big daddy superfly. Now it'll be hard to stop, no big deal. Someday I'll get around to fixing the brakes. A 1979 Bonbon Catalina. She's so looking fine, now it's my baby Cadillac. Aw, baby. Coconut, banana, cherry, and me, baby blue. Aw, baby. Shiny little velvet, little smelly machine. Yo. I got my windows down on a hot summer day, 'cause the AC don't work no way. The sweaty crash fill our seat starts to smell and gets the tussy working overtime. Now on my back seat you'll find a shiny crown that smell like lilacs. My carpet shiny too, 'cause I've been washing it with Armorall. Oh, baby. Coconut, banana, cherry, baby blue. Oh, baby. Microscopic wheels going over speed bumps ain't too smooth. Oh, baby. Brush my lower interior, be fancy to me, baby blue. Oh, baby. Hey.
By special request today, that simpering jackass Tony Snow wanted to hear that. 12:04 at 560. They started the second half in Germany, wherever this game is being played. Is it in Stuttgart? I don't know where it is. Somewhere over there. And it's Brazil 2-0 over the gonorrhea team. Every time Ghana takes a shot, it's like 20 yards over the top of the net. So Maureen Dowd wrote a couple of days ago, 3 days ago to be exact, we need Chloe.
Okay.
She said, you think Michael Chertoff would have something more important to do? The hapless Homeland Security chief could snatch more money away from American locales most likely hit by Al-Qaeda, or let another wonderful city fall into a watery abyss, or go on TV and help cable news hype the saga of the Miami gang of terrorist wannabes who looked like they couldn't find the local Sears, let alone the Sears Tower. These guys were so lame, they asked an informant for boots, radios, binoculars, uniforms, and cash, believing he was Al-Qaeda and that jihadists need uniforms. Instead, the cadaverous Chertoff was gallivanting on stage yesterday morning, meaning Thursday, with some fictional counterterrorism experts from 24. The producers, writer, and 3 actors from the Fox show appeared at an event sponsored by the Heritage Foundation at the Ronald Reagan Building and International Trade Center. Drawing on his old scripts, Mr. Reagan was a master at mixing fiction and fact, but he was a piker compared with the Bush crowd. The audience included Clarence Thomas and his wife Ginny, who held a dinner at the Supreme Court Thursday for the Tinseltown Terror Brigade. Rush Limbaugh, who said that Dick Cheney and Rummy were huge fans of 24, was master of ceremonies for the panel. Oh, maybe that's what he needed the Viagra for, to get up for the occasion. He was MC of the panel titled 24 in America's Image in Fighting Terrorism, Fact, Fiction, or Does It Matter? It doesn't in this administration, Maureen says. Better to have a panel in praise of Jack Bauer than admit we have no real Jack Bauers to find Osama and his murderous acolytes. Better to pretend that rounding up a bunch of Florida losers whose plan was more aspirational than operational, as one FBI official put it, is a great blow in the war on terror than to really turn our intelligence agencies and Homeland Security into the relentless, resourceful, and fearsome organizations they are in fiction and should be given the billions spent on them. Lulled by our spy thrillers and Tom Clancy novels, we used to take for granted that our intelligence agencies were just as capable as heroes on the screen. Jack Ryan, either the Harrison Ford or Alec Baldwin, or even the Ben Affleck version, could have gotten Osama single-handedly in the 2 hours allotted. Even though they still haven't captured the fiend behind 9/11, W and Dick Cheney still blend fact and fiction by using 9/11 to justify their wrong-headed venture in Iraq. As the Vice President told CNN's John King this week when he was asked about his claim that we would be greeted as liberators in Iraq, it doesn't make any sense for people to think that somehow we can retreat behind our oceans, leave the Middle East, walk away from Iraq, and we'll be safe and secure here at home. 9/11 put the lie to that. In a macabre metric of improvement, Dr. Death also noted that things were looking up. Dr. Death. There are a lot more Iraqis becoming casualties in this conflict at present because they're now in the fight, he said cheerily. Some of W's closest allies have begun privately calling Vice an absolute disaster, but when will W realize how twisted his logic is? In the new book, The 1% Doctrine, Ron Suskind writes that CIA officials refer to Mr. Cheney as Edgar, as in Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, and that W had to ask his domineering second to pull back a little at meetings and not offer him advice in crowded rooms so they could continue to pretend that Mr. Cheney was not the puppet master. Well, it sounds like that Mickey and Eisner bit. On the Homeland Security, said Mr. Trudeau, flanked by the actors who play the beautiful techno-geek Chloe and President Logan, seemed a little fuzzy about whether the fancy technology on 24 really exists. He noted one thing you don't see on 24 is when the computer's crashing and having to get the IT people to come in to reboot and get the computer working again. Given that the FBI is struggling to get a computer system that can simultaneously search for flight and schools, his answer was not all that funny. Asked about the slashing of anti-terrorism money given to New York, he replied that we put a lot of extra money into northern New Jersey. Wow, I feel better already. Mr. Limbaugh slyly suggested the producers give Jack Murtha a cameo as KGB chief. He praised 24 for giving torture a good name. This past season, the show began exploring what happens when a Nixonian president becomes so obsessed with national security that he starts undermining the country's laws. That's the kind of fiction you hate to see become fact. So thanks to the guy for calling in, because this may or may not be the article. And quite frankly, I don't give a rat's butt. How do you like that? Ass. Mm-hmm. They played 56 minutes and 57 minutes almost at the World Cup, and it's still Brazil 2-0 over the Ghana. Oh, there's, I think, a yellow card. Uh-oh.
Kaka says he won the vote.
Yellow card. Look out now. This is such a prissy sissy. And when do you think, didn't the Brits invent this crap?
What, soccer?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, it had to be. What would it have to be? They invented all the prissy, sissy stuff. And, of course, back in the days of the British Empire, that's when they spread this disease around the world, you know?
I thought they were into cricket.
No, that's the other thing. Oh, in fact, I'm so glad you mentioned that, to show you how silly the British are. You know how we're always going on about the BBC and how great their news is, and they're such great intellectuals, and they give you the real truth instead of nothing but propaganda. Well, one BBC newscast I watched when I was over there last week in Berlin, the lead story breathlessly presented by the presenter, China may be on the way to world domination in cricket. Can you believe that?
No.
Uh-oh, a shot again 50 yards over the goal by the gonorrhea guy.
By the way, something.
Yes.
What's scrum?
A scrum is like in rugby when they all get down and dirty. When they throw the ball in the middle, they all get down and start grabbing it.
It sounded dirty. I was right.
Yeah, it is. It's down and dirty. That's a scrum. And they also have, we talked about this, before I went on vacation, too, about squash, but Josh didn't know what the hell that was.
Squash?
No, seriously, I'm not talking about summer squash that you eat. I'm talking about the game.
Yeah.
You never heard of squash?
I have, yeah.
Now, isn't that where they also have a scrum? I can't separate all these silly-ass Brit games, man.
Squash is played with a bat and a ball.
Is it?
I think so.
No, you're thinking of cricket. Cricket is a silly-ass...
Likewise with a paddle, but I think...
Like a bat that's shaped like a paddle.
Squash has a paddle or something like that.
And it's 386 for 7. I have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah, the Brits are leading Australia 386 for 7. What? We got 971 votes. Did I tell you we'd have 1,000? Oh, and look at that. Was that one of the Brazil guys there? And they were holding his head. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh, boy. He said, my pups are today. I don't know what that means. I got a bad headache. There's the Brazil coach, man. Oscar Guerrera Pereira Jose Jimenez. Yeah, you're right. I'm getting tired of Brazil. Everybody hates them like poison now. Enough with this crap already. 971 votes. What's your take on the World Cup? La Copa del Mundo. Isn't that how you say it?
Okay.
Well, that was the name of the song, wasn't it?
La Copa de la Vida.
La Copa de la Vida?
Wasn't that it?
Get out of here.
You're the Ricky Martin
no,
fan.
I guess that is. Oh, yeah, I'm the real Ricky. Hey, Ricky!
You fair.
Yeah, real big Ricky Martin fan. 971 votes. What's your take on the World Cup? Soccer is so boring. 358 people wise enough to realize that. Not get sucked in by the hype. Moderately interested, 259. Well, that's good because we're keeping you abreast of the score all day here. I love it. Watching it on TV, 202, which means there's 200 people that we don't have right now. Maybe they're listening and watching at the same time, seeing if I'm giving an accurate rubdown. What's the World Cup? 78. Said that. 76. As boring as watching any other sport. That's George again, being a sour puss.
That's right. By the way, squash uses a racket.
48. And I hate this pool, 29. A racket?
Yeah, and you bounce it off the walls. And the ball, too.
Yeah, you whack it and you rack it? Well, that's good.
That's right.
Squash. I don't mind spaghetti squash. You ever have that? With like a little pasta sauce?
I'm not big on the squash.
Well, my mother used to make that all the time, because in
it's
latter
okay
years,
with a lot of butter and salt, but
Butter?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind or what? Have you ever tried that? I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, it's margarine.
I thought margarine's supposed to be really bad for you.
It is.
Well, then how come they call it I can't believe it's not butter? Why can't they say it's not butter, it's margarine, you jackass?
That's
it's going to kill
taste like
It's
butter.
got like a lot of trans fats in it.
You know what tastes more like butter?
What's that?
Butter.
No. How about salt-free butter?
Okay, I like it salty myself.
Land O'Lakes. Like on some nice hot Italian bread. Che pane. Olio oliva. Let's kill Eli Wallach before somebody else gets him first. Did we decide that he's alive or dead? Google it.
I think he's alive.
Oh, what a shame. 12:13, Bob Weaver. We lose Weaver the weatherman, and we still got Eli Wallach. It goes to show you right there there's no God. There is only...
Oh, God!
If you think you might have termites in your home, and boy, we're in the middle of that humid hurricane season and termite season, do yourself a big favor and call our friends at Ridditt Pest Control today for a free termite inspection. There is no obligation. Now, they came to your home. What did they find? What did they do?
They haven't done anything yet, but they're going to.
Boy, like they're threatening to
do something?
Well, they did the inspection.
They need to hire some extra people to take care of my house.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm sure there's plenty of varmints crawling around in there.
And critters.
Ridditt Pest Control uses that amazing orange oil treatment that kills termites and their eggs 100% on contact. They're gone faster than you can say George is a slob. If you have termites, it's the best possible way to get rid of them. You don't have to tent your house and make a whole carnival over your neighborhood. You don't have to worry about poisonous gas, moving out or staying in hotels or motels. Don't worry about food or pets in your health. Because our good friends at Ridditt Pest Control treat your home with this amazing orange oil, you don't have to leave at all. In fact, you don't have to even walk away. When they're done treating your property, the only thing left behind is a clean set of oranges for just a few days. So if you're really worried that you might have a termite problem, or if you know you've already got it, do yourself a favor and nip it in the bud. Call Ridditt Pest Control right now and find out about this amazing orange oil treatment that kills termites and their eggs 100% on contact. No tending, no games, no kidding, just a fantastic job every time. Call right now for free inspection. Like I said, there's no obligation. They'll come and check it out for you. Call 1-800-447-4348. That's 1-800-447-4348. And be sure when you call to tell them that Todd Reck told you to call. By the way, he's next to go. 1-800-447-4348.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
She fakes orgasms, I fake foreplay. Hi, Jesus here. I know I'm often pictured with a beard, but the truth is, I don't like beards. They itch. A lot. That's why I use the new Shickington Nano Blade Hyper Razor. It gives me such a clean, close shave. It's a miracle! Really? Just the other day, I was walking into the town square. I was there to have lunch with my good friend Judas. Hey, Judas. Hey, Judas.
Jesus!
Didn't recognize me, did you?
Christ almighty, you shaved! Friends, have you heard the good news? Jesus shaves! Jesus will not shave you, but you can shave like Jesus.
Have you been shaved? If not, get the new Shickington Nano Blade Hyper Razor today and have an amazing face.
Amazing face, how smooth my skin.
The Shickington Nano Blade Hyper Razor.
Approved by the Pope.
1219 at 560. Yeah, it's a close shave for the Pope, I guess, huh?
Oh,
Matthew
that's
Rothschild
cute.
writes in the Progressive, at least for this Nazi Pope. I wonder if he was at any of the games.
Cafu.
Maybe the Argentina game.
Waiting in the middle. Wetting.
That's good. Just keep it like about 80 yards up into the air. That's always good. 61 minutes gone by in that big, tremendous soccer match at the La Copa del Mundo. And it's Brazil 2-0 against the Ghananese. Matthew Rothschild in the Progressive. I'm not going to start reading a whole bunch of stuff here, am I? Yes. Well, you sure as hell don't do it. I got to make up for it on these Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Bring us up to date. Everybody's in the dark now.
Yeah, the only thing they know about is, and he's pretty dark. I wonder if he's wearing his icy sleeve.
On what?
In fact, you know, he used to be the race caller at Woodbine, and now he's at Western Fair because he lives over there. Frank Salive. That's his name. He's a great race caller, man. I wonder what's up with Salive. Anyway, Matthew Rothschild writes, Bush goes after the New York Times. Remember freedom of speech in the press and things like that? No, I guess you got to have a good memory. Back during the 1790s under the Alien and Sedition Acts, then during the Civil War, and again during WW1, the government prosecuted editors. It's not a practice that thrills me as an editor, writes Matthew Rothschild. Nor should it thrill you, for that matter, because it's about as blatant a violation of the First Amendment as there is. But that didn't stop Representative Peter King, chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, from wanting to get the cuffs on the editors of the New York Times. We're at war, he said, and for the Times to release information about secret operations and methods is treasonous. King said he would ask Attorney General Alberto VO5 Jose Jimenez Gonzalez to begin an investigation and prosecution of the New York Times, the reporters, the editors, the publisher, people who read it, all of these, everybody on the street corner. Dick Cheney also dumped on the Times, saying that some of the news media take it upon themselves to disclose vital national security programs. This most offensive vice president said, that offends me. Taking his cue from Cheney as usual, Bush on Monday said, for people to leak that program and for a newspaper to publish it does great harm to the United States of America. The revelation he added makes it harder to win the war on terror. And Gonzalez himself, who is supposed to be the leading law enforcement officer of the U.S. and is sworn to uphold the Constitution, has also been warning ominously about prosecuting journalists. What King, Cheney, Bush, Gonzalez, and many right-wing pundits don't seem to appreciate is that we, the American people, need to have a free press to check the excesses of government. Such a free press has never been needed more so than today, when the Bush administration has taken excess to the nth degree. To my eyes, the New York Times hasn't been aggressive enough. It held the NSA spying story for more than a year. It let Judith Miller cozy up to the Iraq War cheerleaders and place some of their propaganda on the front page. Our biggest failures have generally been when we fail to dig deep enough or to report fully enough, Bill Keller, editor of the Times, acknowledged in a letter to readers on June 25. He also revealed just how solicitous the Times has become of the administration's views. Our decision to publish the story of the administration's penetration of the international banking system followed weeks of discussion between administration officials and the Times. Not only the reporter who wrote the story, but senior editors, including me, Keller wrote. We listened patiently and attentively. We weighed the most heavily the administration's concern that describing this program would endanger it. But the president doesn't deserve a seat at the editorial meetings of the New York Times or any other newspaper. That's not his place. He's commander-in-chief, not editor-in-chief. It's up to us reporters and editors and publishers to decide what is news, not the branch of government they're supposed to be covering. Once the president takes over that job, the fourth estate has totally lost its function. So before Gonzalez, Cheney, Bush, and King throw Bill Keller and Arthur Sulzberger Jr. in the hoosgow, they might want to consult a copy of the Constitution if they can still find one laying around. You know that piece of paper, that crappy horse ball piece of paper? That GD piece of paper like your president said? And I repeat, your president? 993. What did I tell you? By 12:30 we'd have 1,000 votes. Boy, I'm telling you, I am as sharp as a marble.
Montani lost it.
Oh, boy. 64 and almost 65 minutes gone by. Are you keeping track of this? You know, you also keeping track of the extra time?
Huh?
Well, you know, soccer is the only game that I can think of where there's a time factor involved. I mean, there's some sports like baseball where there's not a time factor.
Yeah.
But the only one I can think of where the clock never stops, ever, to my knowledge, except at halftime. It just keeps running and running and running, like you know, like a Timex. That's it. Like the Energizer Bunny. Just keeps going on and on. And then, of course, there's always that extra time that the referee decides. He's got his own little stopwatch. And depending on who he bet on, he decides how much extra time there's going to be.
Look at you, you're a big soccer guru now.
Hey, I know my crap, mister. Let me tell you right now. I know my Ronaldo from Brazil from that Ronaldo guy from Portugal, who's ill right now. Let's see. Here's the facts from Andy in Miami Beach. He says, as if we didn't already know this, we're definitely living in a police state. Mickey Arison got up to make his speech after the Heat won, live on ABC, and ABC bleeped him out when he said, these guys work their asses off. Oh, my God. Mickey Arison said, ass?
Rectum.
Oh, brother. It was also pretty funny when Arison mistakenly said during his speech at the parade, stay white. Well, what does that mean?
Well, White Hot was the...
yeah, I know that.
The whatchamacallit, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what if you don't want to stay white? What does that mean? You put on like Al Jolson, put on blackface?
Go out in the sun and get you a tan.
Also, $7.90 the ticket at a promotion. We're handing out pictures of David Hasselhoff to distract Nowitzki. AA Arena security guards were told to confiscate them since the heat station is WIOD. I know that this is a running joke of yours, but there actually is a restaurant now on Washington Avenue in South Beach called Some Young Guy. Well, isn't that great? What's wrong with Some Young Guy?
Depends on who you're talking about.
Well, I think...
I want to shoot right now, okay? I want it right away. Oh, won't somebody try to get me some young guy?
Already done that. At any rate, 5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon singular wireless line. 997. Boy, the timing on this is it's staggering. Oh, there's one of the Ghananese guys.
Is that what they're called?
Holding his leg. Oh, jeez. I think he got kneed in the nuts. 1,000 votes, boys and girls. How do you like that? Didn't I say by the time we got to 12:30?
Yeah.
We're ahead of our schedule. So let's get that Marlin pregame show on right now, even though the game ain't till 7:05. Marlins and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Now, how many people did we have there last night, Josh? Do you have any idea?
Well, I watched it on TV, and I'm going to go with about 700.
But they won.
Yeah.
They were trending early 3-2, and they
it.
pulled it out. They won 8-5. They're red. They're talk about white hot. They are red hot. They're the hottest team in baseball the last month. Am I correct about that?
For the past 20 games or something, yeah.
Yes, I am. Of course, that includes a 9-game winning streak, but nevertheless.
Well, they're orange hot.
And they had some stinking nerve, man, that after I left on vacation to sweep the Blue Jays that weekend. The Blue Jays were on the verge of greatness. They were only a game out of first, and they come into South Florida and right away like a bunch of smartasses. Bada bing,
That's
3
right.
in a row.
They did that for you.
They did that just to stick it to me, okay? That's your Marlin organization. That was probably David Sampson getting even. 1,002 votes on the poll. Eat your hearts out across the street. That's more votes we got on the poll than you got listeners over there. With the juices loose and that Sid Bergstein, Schwarzkopf, whatever his name is. What's that guy's name?
Who?
That Schmerl across the street.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Look at that. Did you see that? They came within a hair lip of scoring goal, the Ghananese. The Gonorrhea
Are you
guys.
sure that's what they're called?
The Ghanwanese.
I think they're called Goners.
Well, they're going to be in this match, I'll tell you that. They're Goners. Hey, here's some good news for you. Lobster Fest is back every Friday through Sunday at the Emerald Coast, the best Chinese buffet in South Florida, and they got 3 locations for you. Sunrise, Pembroke Pines, and Sunny Isles Beach. In fact, go over there and talk to my good friend Richard at the Emerald Coast. He's just as proud as I am that the Leafs lost no playoff games this season. Over 100 different items featured on the Emerald Coast buffet, so be sure and try them all. Start out with 6 gourmet soups, then go for a delicious, juicy New York steak grilled to order just the way you love it. Hand-carved prime rib. There's a sushi bar and all the traditional Asian dishes, as well as a salad and shrimp bar. Salad and bar. Boy, you've been long vacation since you've been able to do that last. You won't know what to eat next at the Emerald Coast. And their dessert bar is spectacular during the week, but on the weekends, even better because the 40-inch chocolate fountain will make your mouth water as you hand-dip your strawberries, marshmallows, cheesecake, other decadent treats, and loads of milk chocolate for dessert. A perfect ending to a gigantic feast at the Emerald Coast. And don't forget, no MSG, no cornstarch, no crap. They use only healthy, cholesterol-free canola oil. Even Eli Wallach would be proud. So bring the whole family to the Emerald Coast today. Call 954-572-3822 for reservations. 954-572-3822. The Emerald Coast Chinese Buffet. And don't forget, every Friday through Sunday, it's Lobster Fest at the Emerald Coast, where you can eat to your heart's content without spending a lot of green.
This is Neil Rogers.
Or white.
This is 560 QAM.
Or pink. Now, what the hell was that?
I don't know. Was it a rejoin?
That sounded suspiciously like one of those sneaky rejoins to me.
Floridians, dumb as dirt.
Hello, I'm Joyce Biggs with a rebuttal to the sterilism. Do I smell all right? Let me check. Because I refuse to trim. I like crunchy cake. Excuse me a moment. Yes, I smell adequate today. Not quite up to the German chocolate cake level, but when the carpet doesn't match the drapes, I'm satisfied with a coconut cream texture. I insist on big, crunchy cake. Yes, I'm fine. Now, I'm here to state my rationale for not allowing fart sounds on the Neil Rogers Show. Not only are farts disgusting, but not necessary. Bodily gas can easily be controlled with self-discipline. Case in point, I had coleslaw for lunch, and see, there is absolutely nothing coming... No, noise that is. I mean, if I can't. With a little self-con. Oh, there. And you didn't hear a thing. That's why I voted for Edwin Muskie.
Oh, I told you she never farted. Didn't I tell you that?
She never did.
That Joyce Fitch bitch. 1,005 votes on the poll with that. Let's see. Get that score thing back up on top of the screen. And by the way, Josh is right. Dave O'Brien is doing the games on ABC. How embarrassing.
What are you talking about?
The soccer games, the World Cup.
No way.
I thought you were the guy that told me.
No,
that.
there was that fax who told you, but he was an idiot because there was a baseball game going on.
No, it's Dave O'Brien is doing the soccer on ABC. I'm telling you that right now. I heard a little bit of it.
Is that right?
Yeah. Why do you disbelieve that?
Well, because when the guy faxed that in last week, it was wrong.
Yes.
He was calling a baseball game. So.
Well, I'm telling you right now, man. In fact, is this thing on ABC? Let me just take a puke at it. See, it must be, wouldn't you think? No, they got an infomercial on my ABC affiliate here. Why the hell would that be? Huh? Oh, and then there's that awful Family Feud with a guy with a beard.
Oh, no, yeah.
What's that guy's name?
That's the better than that.
Oh, my God. He's just horrible. You know the one I'm talking about? Family Feud at...
Not anymore.
Yeah. In fact, he's
Louis Anderson.
No, Louis B. Anderson was even not as bad as this guy. It's still 2-0 Brazil, and they played 76.5 minutes.
The guy from Home Improvement.
Oh, that guy. I don't know his name.
He's on Home Improvement?
Not anymore. He's on that show.
Stupid ass show. What all these, who the hell wants to see somebody remodeling a house? What kind of a show is that, you know? All this so-called reality TV. It's just treasure hunt. Do you see that one now?
No.
Haven't even seen the promos for
yeah,
that?
I've seen the promos for it.
Oh,
no, thank
give
you.
me I'm not talking about the show. You think I would
Nick
watch any of those
Famier.
shows? What garbage, man. Posters at the right-wing Free Republic message board, and of course you know that nutjob website, Free Republic. Posters at the right-wing Free Republic message board today were roused into a fury of indignation by a news story about New York Times revelations of the administration's illegal programs of warrantless surveillance. Posted by an individual calling himself or herself Pissant. I can't say the way that's not how you say it. The story, that's cute. The story quoted Dick Cheney as saying, can I say that? Ant? I can say ant. The New York Times has now twice, 2 separate occasions, disclosed programs. Both times they have been asked not to publish those stories by senior administration officials. They went ahead anyway. The leaks in the New York Times and the publishing of these leaks is very damaging. I guess they're not so concerned about Dick Cheney and the leak of Valerie Plame's identity of a covert CIA operative, which jeopardized all of our operations, etc., and her life and the lives of a lot of other CIA agents. Mm-hmm. The thread which followed this provocative statement was almost entirely devoted to imagining ever more extreme ways to get back at the Times for what the posters widely considered to be an act of treason. Their recommended responses started out with a relatively mild and legal, sic the AG on the NYT, the Attorney General. Can we have a class action lawsuit against the Slimes for endangering American lives? However, they soon became increasingly vindictive. Whoever it is needs to spend the rest of his pathetic life in the slammer. Indictments, arrests, and imprisonments are very much in order here. Not to put too fine a point on it, but just how much treason is our president prepared to tolerate? The thread quickly took on the quality of a lynch mob, with posters attempting to outdo one another in the level of their imaginary violence. I can only hope I get to see the video of Sulzberger's beheading. If the government won't act, perhaps some private citizens will. Tar and feathers? You are the very definition of the term restraint. I was thinking more along the lines of Muslim solution. String them up right next to Murtha's sad carcass. And on it went. How do you like that?
Nice.
So there you go. These are the freerepublic.com crowd. Right-wing.
Free Republic?
Yeah, Free Republic. That's them. In other words, yeah, that's the acronym for them. Like that. 1,011 votes on the poll, still 2-0, and they played almost 80 minutes in the World Cup. In a strongly worded headline that's appeared across a variety of news websites, the Associated Press has formally accused President Bush of ignoring laws that he signs. The AP headline at ABC News, Bush ignores laws he inks, vexing Congress. At AOL, Bush ignores laws he signs, vexing Congress. And Yahoo, Bush ignores laws he inks, vexing Congress. Sounds like Congress is getting pretty vexed and perplexed.
It's vexing.
Republican Senate Judiciary, now what's that word, pissant?
On what?
On it. Republican Senate Judiciary Committee Arlen Specter is hounding the administration on what he believes is an excessive interpretation of presidential powers. A law is not binding when a president issues a separate statement saying he reserves the right to revise, interpret, or disregard it on national security and constitutional grounds. That's the argument a Bush administration official is expected to make today before the Senate Judiciary Committee chaired by Arlen Specter, who has demanded a hearing on a practice he considers an example of the administration's abuse of power. It's a challenge to the plain language of the Constitution, Specter said to the AP. I'm interested to hear from the administration just what research they've done to lead them to the conclusion they can cherry-pick. Apparently enough to challenge many more statutes passed by Congress than any other president, Specter's committee says. The White House doesn't dispute that, but notes that Bush is hardly the first chief executive to issue them. Signing statements have long been issued by presidents dating back to Andrew Jackson all the way through President Clinton. White House spokesman woman Dana Perino said yesterday. And again, I wonder if she's related to Marty Perino, left-handed voter from Syracuse. You think? Who? 1,018 votes on the poll about soccer, baby. We got this big World Cup game going, and you're poo-pooing it. Just like Joyce there was poo. You hear? I think she did 3 poos there at the end of that bit. She was doing the old poo routine. Let us count the ways that you poo on us, Joyce. I would say
about 30, man.
Okay, let's crank up some of these calls now. 5670560. What do you think?
Do it.
Pound 560 leave a Verizon Singular wireless line. Well, I'm pretty much glued into this soccer match.
Yeah, I can tell.
It is scintillating, yeah. WQAM, hello.
Hello, is this the Neil Rogers Show?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, just to be sure, Dave O'Brien's definitely calling those games in Europe, and there's been stories about it in the Sun Sentinel, the Herald, and it's his biggest opportunity of his life and all that stuff. So he's doing them.
I know that. Thank you, sir. I heard it myself. I mean, do I not know Dave O'Brien when I hear him? Josh?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I knew it was him. I knew him, and you're poo-pooing him. I just don't understand you. You're pooing, man. The crowd is booing and you're pooing. And of course, if Joyce is involved, you can understand why the crowd is booing, that bitch. Hateful, nasty sow. It just makes it up as she goes along, man. Oh, you can't play any fart sounds, and you can't say this. Yeah, right. Your mama. How do you like that, Joyce? Take that and put it in your pipe and let George smoke it. 82 minutes and 10 seconds gone by, and the Ghananese men, they've had some excellent scoring chances, but every time they get near that Brazil goal, for some strange reason, they kick it very high and very wide, you know? Mm-hmm. Like a guy in hockey gets a penalty shot, and he goes in all alone, and he shoots it like 15 feet wider than that. There's something really, I don't know, really stinko about that whole deal. Finally, a TV experience like no other. Comcast digital cable with on-demand is easy to use and lets you take viewer control to a whole new level. With the Comcast on-demand, TV is on your terms because you can select a show on your schedule, pause or rewind it whenever you want. And for a limited time, you can get connected to Comcast digital cable and HBO on-demand for just $34.99 a month for your first 3 months. Why is TV so much better with on-demand? I'm so glad you asked. For starters, you can watch over 3,000 free movies and shows whenever you want it, whenever you're in a mood to. It's a revolutionary new way to enjoy TV. On-demand is ready to start when you say so, with programming including free movies, kid shows, music videos, cooking shows, sports, home improvement shows, guitar lessons, and so much more. You'll always have something really great to watch right when you're in the mood to watch it. You sure can't get all this with satellite. So ditch that dish today and get big savings up to $515 plus on-demand, so you can build your own TV schedule. And best of all, on-demand is free when you have Comcast digital cable. So pick those show times, sit back, and you wonder how you ever managed to get along without it. Call today to order Comcast digital cable and HBO with the power of on-demand for just $34.99 a month for your first 3 months. In Dade, call 305-COMCAST, and in Broward, 954-COMCAST for full details. Call them today. Certain restrictions apply.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
But if a rejoin is going to be rejoin one time and then it's going to be like in the middle of a break, it doesn't work for me, okay? I don't want to like play Butch Boss to you, but it just doesn't work for me.
Well, I wish I could say it didn't nail me a few times last week and yesterday.
That doesn't work, okay? So whoever is making up this log, and I use the term very loosely, Christian, I mean, how can we have like all 3.5 and 4 minute breaks all day, and then like the second break in the next hour is a 90-second break? This is a individual, even though you highly touted him when he first showed up on the scene. He wouldn't know a log from a log cabin. He wouldn't know Abe Lincoln if he saw him.
I said he was a nice guy.
Oh, he's a nice guy, but again, as usual, nice guys finish, you know. And a good Christian, too, don't forget that.
He's got his fame. He saves the day, but what if things got real strange? And he went the other way, and what if you stayed? With meeting up with him, you might have a date. If you weren't a woman, yeah, might not be straight, and yeah, he planted
Gay.
Have to get a sex change.
12:47, 13 till, and you know, they say it ain't over till it's over. It's all over, that big soccer match that we're so whipped up about. I mean, not technically over, but it's over, because Brazil scored again. Yeah. And finally they got a shot there, the Ghananese, but the goalie stopped it. And they're like a minute to go in regular, and then they'll have a little extra time, and then bye-bye. 3-0 for Brazil. So I've seen enough of that crap, okay? Turn it off. I did. 7 men charged with conspiring to bomb the Sears Tower in Chicago and the FBI building in Miami were entrapped by a federal informant. Lawyers for 2 of the suspects said yesterday. An indictment issued last week accused the men of pledging loyalty to Osama bin Laden's al-Qaeda and seeking the group's support to wage war against the U.S. government. The person they thought was an al-Qaeda representative was actually an FBI informant, the U.S. Justice Department be saying. Albert Levin, the court-appointed attorney for suspect Patrick Abraham, said he believes his client was ensnared by the informant. There was a lot of talking going on by the informant and more listening by the defendant and or the defendants, Levin told Fox News Channel host Bill O'Reilly, the anxious Bill O'Reilly.
That's how I run that country.
Nathan Clark, let's send him there. Let's send his ass to Iraq and let him run it. What do you say?
All right.
Bring all the troops home and send Bill O'Reilly over there.
Sure, he can do it by phone.
Nathan Clark, a lawyer for another suspect, Rothschild Augustine, agreed. With respect to my client, from what I can read in the indictment, there's going to be a question of whether there's even sufficient evidence to sustain the burden of proof on conviction, Clark said. If by any chance there's a scintilla of that, then, of course, there's going to be the entrapment issue, he said. This thing took place over 8 months, according to the indictment. At the end of the indictment, it says that this thing became disorganized and nobody had ever done anything or did anything, Clark said. Nobody had ever done anything or did anything. Abraham, Martin, and John. Abraham Augustine and 3 other men arrested Thursday in Miami appeared briefly in a magistrate's court on Friday. Another suspect arrested in Atlanta made his initial court appearance there on Friday. The 7th suspect arrested in the Miami area earlier last week on probation violation is scheduled to appear in court mañana. How do you like that? Everybody have a nervous breakdown, man. Just like Maureen Dowd said, these people couldn't find Sears department store, much less the Sears Tower. Bunch of schleppers, getchkis, with bad headgear.
And
really
dreadlocks.
bad. Oh, my God. Bad headgear and bad haircuts. 1,000, and you see how many votes we got over 1,000?
About 30, man.
1,030 votes on a poll. They kind of eased back once we got to 1,000. You know something? I don't blame you. It's hotter than hell. It's the middle of the summertime. You got a lot of pressure with that Brazil match that they just zipped right on by there. I think they never got out of neutral in that match, you know, against the Ghananese. They want to embarrass them. 5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon Singular wireless line. Boy, I sure am upset that I missed all of that excitement, though, from the way you describe it. It must have been...
you know, that'll never happen again. Well, maybe
it must have been really fake. I mean, it must have been great. Ersatz. WQAM, hello. Yeah. Okay. Short and sweet. WQAM, hello.
I have no man.
Okay, good. Give him Wilma's number. She'll take care of him. Go ask Wilma. And last but certainly not least, WQAM. Now that was, see, I don't know. That's the ordinary one I get.
Right, but that's the faker. Now, Gilbert started it and did it for a while, and then this guy decided to copy it, and then Gilbert kind of, didn't keep up his pace, so this guy became the most
But then we had the worst
and then,
Gilbert.
And yet now a third one, a copier of the copy.
Oh, my God. A copier of a copycat who's really trying to say...
I have no life.
Yeah, we understand.
Well, that's all of them.
And, of course, you continue doing those appearances because you need the money, so you get to meet this crowd.
It's a joy.
And a thing forever. Oh, there they go. See, now, once that 7-minute delay kicks in, all of a sudden the phone goes ballistic. You see that?
I see it.
It's a beautiful thing. WQAM, hello. There's nobody on it.
Absolutely correct, sir.
WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yeah, can I speak with Neil Rogers?
Speaking. Well, this sounds like we go 80 in Canada. Yes.
Yeah, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
This is a first-time caller.
Okay.
Julio, another Julio.
See.
I was just dialing to the left, to the right of your station. What is this guy's name? Rush? Well, what is his problem? This guy's such an imbecile. He has such an imbecile, this guy.
Steve Ruchin. He used to play for the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, whoever's trying to learn the English language was having a lot of problems with him. What is tissue or issue? What does that mean?
Tissue.
Sexual.
Tissue, that's what you wipe your rectum with. And then that's just before you put it in the...
Cube.
We've all heard the story. November 2nd, 2004 was shaping up as a day of celebration for Democrats. The exit polls predicting a victory for Senator John Kerry. Many Americans, including most political observers, sat down to watch the evening television coverage, convinced that Kerry would be the next president.
Absolutely.
But the counts that were being reported on TV bore little resemblance to the exit poll projections. In key state after state, tallies differed significantly from the projections. In every case, that shift favored President George W. Bush. Nationwide, exit polls projected a 51 to 48% Kerry victory, the mirror image of Bush's 51 to 48% win, but the exit poll discrepancy is not the only cause for concern. This article, by the way, from the Boston Globe by Stephen Freeman and Joel Blyfuss. In Ohio, Secretary of State Kenneth Blackwell, the Ohio co-chairman of the 2004 Bush-Cheney campaign, borrowed a chapter from Secretary of State Katherine Harris's Florida 2000 playbook. Like Harris, he used the power of his office to affect turnout and thwart voters in heavily Democratic areas. Vote suppression and electoral irregularities in Ohio have been documented, first in January 2005 by Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee, and in June 2005 by the Democratic National Committee, which found, in the words of DNC Chairman Howard Dean, more than a quarter of all Ohio voters reported problems with their voting experience. More than a quarter of all of them. Election Day 2004 also saw the advent of a congressional mandate under the Help America Vote Act to replace punch card systems with new unproven technologies. In that election, 64% of Americans voted on direct recorded electronic voting machines or optical scan systems, both of which are vulnerable to hacking or programming fraud. According to a September 2005 GAO office investigation, such systems contain flaws that could allow unauthorized personnel to disrupt operations or modify data and programs that are critical to the integrity of the voting process. A reasonable person could argue that a well-conducted exit poll that confirmed the official count would be about the only reason we would have to believe the results of such an election. Without an audit or recount to verify the official count, those of us who suspect that the presidential election was stolen do so based on the information now available. In the days after the election, the media largely ignored this exit poll discrepancy. When it was mentioned, it was only to report that the exit poll, based on a confidential 25-question written survey of 114,000-plus voters in 1,480 precincts, were flawed. The discrepancy, however, was real and beyond the statistical margin of error. On that, there is widespread agreement. While it is still being debated, what is still being debated is only the reason for that discrepancy. In January 2005, on the eve of Bush's inauguration, the two men who conducted the 2004 exit poll, Warren Matosky and Joe Lenski, released their promised explanation. Their report began, the inaccuracies in the exit poll estimates were not due to the sample selection of the polling locations at which the exit polls were conducted. In other words, the precincts they sampled were representative of the nation, so the discrepancy was not the result of choosing unrepresentative precincts. The data they released allows researchers to correlate voter characteristics, race, age, sex, etc., with voting preferences, but was not the data that identified specific exit poll results with specific precincts. That data remains the property of the media consortium, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, CNN, and the AP, that commissioned the polls. No one has provided a coherent account of how polling area could explain the discrepancy. We have only the pollsters' blithe assertion that Kerry voters must have disproportionately participated in the polls. Yet the available state-level data contradicts the pollster's explanation, also termed the reluctant Bush respondent theory. The data does show that key variables, racial makeup of a state, partisan control of governorships, whether a state is a swing state, and reports of election day complaints, all correlate with the magnitude of the poll discrepancy. The report also indicated that for rural and small-town precincts, the only ones where comparable data does exist, the difference between the exit poll results and the official count is 3 times greater in precincts where voters use machines than in precincts using paper ballots alone. If we had access to the withheld precinct-level data, we'd be able to investigate whether the size of the exit poll discrepancy correlates with the voting technology used. For these reasons and more, it is imperative that our newspapers of record, as well as our governmental oversight bodies, now investigate the question people continue to ask, was the 2004 election stolen? Which is the name of their book, by the way, Joseph Blyfuss and Stephen Freeman. And we all know the answer. The answer is...
Absolutely.
Of course. I mean, if at first you do succeed, why the hell not do it again, right?
Right.
They got away with it in 2000. The media rolled over and played dead and spread their legs. They'd say, hey, why the hell not do it again? We can, and we did, and they did. 12:57 at 560 WQAM. While supplies last at Dollar Mattress, you can save hundreds of dollars off a Sealy Posturepedic Striker Ultra Plush Euro Pillow Top only from Dollar Mattress. For a limited time, take $400 off a queen set, just $6.99. Take $550 off a king set. Similar savings in all sizes. Now, this isn't some cheapo mattress that other stores promote in their ads. It's a luxury Sealy Posturepedic, complete with memory foam and a premium coil unit, perfect for the master bedroom. It's a special limited-time offer and won't last long, so call 1-800-MATTRES right now and find out more about the Striker mattress from Sealy or ask about clearance pricing on other Sealy Posturepedics as well. Call 1-800-MATTRES, and when you do call them, be sure to ask about their 12-month financing plan, too. Dialer Mattress still ranked #1 in the world of customer satisfaction. I've been using them for years and guarantee you'll be mighty pleased you called them. Call 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for savings and strikers.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
I just hate people that use snappy openers for their show segments, like that 1 to 2 hour.
It's the most polluted river in this whole country. Now they want to build a beach there, just like the OC. The water may be toxic, full of dead guys too. There's filthy, filthy raw sewage, surfing NYC. We'll put our boards on the subway, or maybe in a cab. Times Square and Harlem, and Wall Street too. All over Manhattan, they're saying life's a beach. Everybody's on surfing NYC. Everybody's on surfing.
101. By the way, guess what color is back in for all those macho young guys? You'll never guess.
No, I know, pink.
Yeah. What's that all about?
It's not. It's just that
It
a bunch of fags have decided that it's okay to convince other people to wear it now.
Well, they sure got them convinced because I was watching a little of the NHL draft, and they get all these strapping
No
18,
straight
19-year-old
people are
kids.
wearing it.
That is not true. Hockey players, man.
Like I said.
Young stud hockey players. Are you suggesting that they're
gay?
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, geez, that's encouraging.
Isn't it?
For me, 1,050 votes on the poll so far. What about that soccer thing? I'm pretty sure that's the final score. I'm not going to turn back on there because we got this very big story. 2-story motel partially collapses after explosion in some bumfork town in Georgia. Aren't you worried about that?
No.
No. 1,050 votes on the poll. What's your take on the World Cup? La Copa del Vida. La Copa del Mundo. Soccer is so boring. Amen. God almighty. Oh, 359 votes. Excuse me, 390. Where'd I get the 59 from? Am I starting to get like dyslexic now?
Maybe.
390.
More.
Moderately interested, 282. I love it, watching it on TV and the whole Leganza deal, 211. So you add those two together, you got about 47% of this audience, almost half. Let's have a soccer show. Let's get rid of that Ira windbag. You get some soccer talk on there. What do you say?
Do it.
Huh?
I'm sure he's not doing much.
Who, Ira?
Yeah.
Get rid of his ass, man. He's killing. Hey, Ira, you're killing us, man. You're killing us. We needed you like a Lochen Cup. What's the World Cup? Speaking of cup, 79. As boring as watching any other sport. That was George's choice, 57. Well, you got some company out there. All these naysayers. Oh, you're watching ball games. Well, too bad.
Nay.
I hate this pool. Only 3.1%. That's pretty low for I hate this pool. They love it. See, they like my pool. Now let me ask you again, because do we even have a link? Let me go to our homepage. I don't think we do, which I'm a little bit concerned about that. Do we not want to have a link to this myspace.com /Neil God thing?
Oh, we haven't gotten that far yet, but I think it's a good idea.
What do you mean yet? When did this thing go up there?
Like last week sometime.
Yeah.
It's really taken off much faster than anybody anticipated.
Well, what do you mean it's taken off? We got 103 friends on there.
I know. I mentioned it like twice, maybe 3 times, and then boom, and then I mentioned it once more after that.
Well, let's see how many friends we got now.
No, I think we absolutely should cross-link, but...
Oh, we got 112 friends.
I also thought it would be a good idea to make sure that you were down with it before we did anything
well,
like that.
What the hell do I care, as long as it doesn't have some stupid chat room on there so people can use our space, my space, and your space, and us' space to, like, shout at each other and write a bunch of crap.
Nevertheless, it's your face
and you
on
never know,
your,
we might
on
get
your
some hot
space.
people on there.
So we wanted to make sure that you had your approval.
I guess we're not doing that hot couples contest this summer, huh?
We might. We actually been talking about the possibility.
Well, why the hell not? You can put some tasteful pictures on there.
I want to put some distasteful pictures on there.
Well, we can't do that. You know that. We can't do that.
We'll get ID.
Yeah. You go house. Oh, no comment. I'm sure you'd volunteer to go house to house and check certain IDs.
That's right.
And maybe I would too, but I doubt it. I really doubt it.
I'll give all the girls a physical.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Physical. So let's see. We got all this Godfather stuff on there. It's pretty nifty. It looks pretty good. We got a bunch of
Miguel
pictures.
did a good job.
And Miguel really is. That's good. Especially after he stiffed us on that fundraiser. It's about time he did something good. And that broke-ass mountain, too. That's kind of cute. The dike thing. That's great. What else we got? I don't even know who that is.
Who?
Who's sitting there with some blonde in his lap? Who is that?
That's George.
That's George?
Yeah.
George has got a tongue that long? Oh, that explains a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's George?
God compensated for all my
I realize I haven't seen you in a little bit, but my God, you look like...
well, that's an old picture, too.
I don't know. Look like hell on wheels.
That's
and
me.
who's she? Who was that?
I don't remember.
That was Savannah Sampson.
Oh, I see.
Oh, is that who that is?
And then Suds is there. It looks like about not a day over 90.
Remember, he's just 2 years younger than you.
Old.
Right.
Oh, and you know something? Wait a minute. Where's that John Lennon bit? Because that's going to fit in for my birthday, too.
Paul McCartney.
What I say, John Lennon? Well, he's aging.
Same difference.
He's not aging well. Yeah, why didn't they get Paul McCartney instead? No, and I see now that's the KJ bit.
That's right.
We're not going to play the whole thing. But why not? Hey, you look old, Suds. You look a hell of a lot older than me.
Now you are older, you still have your hair and your arched eyebrow.
No, you know how it is when you don't see somebody for a long time, like a celebrity, which he's kind of like a minor celebrity in his own mind.
Right.
But you don't see somebody for a long time, and then you see him. Oh my God, what the hell? What kind of a train wreck were you in? You know.
Well, his hair wasn't so white last time you saw him.
No, what hair? Oh, no, that's not white. It's gray.
Mm-hmm.
Suds is old and gray. Boy, we're getting old, man. It's really bad. And then Weaver, the weatherman, kicks the bucket after that bitch called and said, "Oh, I think he's on his last. What'd she say, on his deathbed?"
I don't remember.
Yeah. You don't remember because you weren't there. Josh was there. Oh, and then this guy with the Kmart thing, the Walmart. Wow, what is that? What is that? Now, let me just ask you something, as I'm moving this stuff around a little bit so I can read it, because it's got the Godfather logo is covering over. I see. I got you something from Walmart. Oh, take a puke at that. That is scary. But there's some human-looking people on here, our new friends. We got friends out there. And believe me, with the way this current regime is running this radio station, we need all the friends we can get. Believe me. In fact, that might be the whole audience, 112. Let me refresh you. You think while I'm talking we might get another one? No. No, still 112. It's not exactly taken off. But it's nifty and it's neat. And what it's supposed to accomplish, I have no idea. But, it give you people something to do.
I have no life.
During these boring hot summer days, right?
Right.
In between making calls to us and saying,
Hitler, Hitler.
Which I believe someone wrote as a comment on the page.
Did they really?
Yes, they did.
Now, am I missing something on there? Let me go back to that thing. Am I missing all the comments or the comments with the pictures?
Yes.
I haven't really...
The comments that people post would be to the bottom right. So just scroll down.
The bottom right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll start right under our top 12 friends that we have there. And
I've seen it, but they all have pictures with them.
Right. Well, that's who posts it.
I understand. What am I, why are you talking to me like I'm some kind of a child, man? Well, I am going through my second childhood, but
you said you didn't know where to find the comments. They're right there for you.
Oh, I know where to find it.
They say comments.
I found it.
What'd you think?
I might actually go back for it if I thought I could ever find it again. Anyway, that's nifty, and we like. Oh, and also, speaking of stuff that has to do with the show, which I realize is unusual, where did you find that thing that's on our website? Let me go to the homepage again.
A listener, and please don't ask me who, because I'm getting a lot of emails these days with contributions.
WWJD.
Right, a listener emailed that to me, and there it is. And
it's, what would Jesus do about all these butchered and murdered children?
It'll choke you up.
Yeah. Everybody needs to take a look at that. I can't. I'm going to do it
after the show.
Especially
the Christians, not that they.
Now, all you good Christians out there, there's so much behind this butchery. Your butcher of Washington there that's killing and maiming and wounding and destroying people's lives. And they're bragging about the fact that, in Baghdad, there are actually some parts of the city where they're back up to 12 hours of electricity. It's 115 degrees over there in the shade now. Air conditioning my ass, which of course couldn't hurt. But it's just pathetic. Anyway, Matthew Rothschild has an interesting, it's not really an article, it's just some facts from the Progressive. The following 13 senators deserve our thanks for courageously voting to withdraw all U.S. troops from Iraq within the next year. These 13. Daniel Akaca. Oh, and by the way, there's a player on Brazil named Kaká.
Yeah.
And Kaká. That's his name. And the British announcer, the stuffy British announcer there, refused to say that, so he kept calling him Kaká.
How about Kaká?
That would be good. Anyway, Senator Daniel Akaca from Hawaii.
Kaká.
Barbara Boxer of California. Dick Durbin of Illinois. Tom Harkin of Iowa. Daniel Inouye of Hawaii. James Jeffords, Independent of Vermont. Ted Kennedy. John Kerry. Frank Lautenberg of New Jersey, Patrick Leahy, the co-sponsor, along with Barbara Boxer from Vermont, Robert Menendez of Jersey, Russ Feingold of Wisconsin, and Ron Wyden, Democrat of Oregon. All Democrats, of course, and the independent. The following Democratic senators opposed the withdrawal amendment, showing once more that the notion of a unified, disciplined, and genuinely opposition party does not exist in this country, nor is there a major party devoted to peace. Here is the roll of shame, says Matthew Rothschild, the roll of shame. Senator Max Baucus of Montana, Evan Bayh of Indiana, Joe Biden of Delaware, Jeff Bingaman of New Mexico, Robert Byrd of West Virginia, that old turd, Maria Cantwell of Washington, Thomas Carper of Delaware, Hillary Clinton of New York, Kent Conrad of North Dakota, Mark Dayton of Minnesota, Chris Dodd of Connecticut, Byron Dorgan of North Dakota, Dianne Feinstein of California, Tim Johnson, South Dakota, Herb Kohler, Wisconsin, Mary Landrieu of Louisiana, Carl Levin of Michigan, Jew Lieberman, of course, Blanche Lincoln of Arkansas, Barbara Mikulski of Maryland, Patty Murray of Washington. Hey, Patty.
You fairy.
Ben Nelson of Bill Nelson of Florida. Bill Nelson. Ben Nelson of Nebraska. Barack Obama of Illinois. Mark Pryor of Arizona. Jack Reed of Rhode Island. Harry Reid of Nevada. Ken Salazar of Colorado. Paul Sarbanes of Maryland. Chuck Schumer of New York. And Debbie Stabenow of Michigan. Even Harry Reid. No balls. That Joe Lieberman voted against can hardly be called a shocker, and he willingly fronted for the Republicans, as the website crooksandliars.com points out. They called on him first as their own advocate against the amendment. Every day, Lieberman is becoming more and more like Rabbi Bangelsdorf from Philip Roth's Plot Against America. You know, the one who sucked up to Lindbergh?
Yeah.
And note that even the Senate Majority Leader, Harry Reid, voted against this amendment. That's leadership. Even Barack Obama voted against it. Chris Dodd, Joe Biden, Evan Bayh voted against it. Hillary Clinton voted against it, too. All five of them want to be president. But these are not profiles in courage, to which I would say...
Absolutely correct, sir.
How do you like that? Spineless bunch of cowards.
That's right.
Just pathetic. 1,075 votes, so be sure to... Now, I asked you that question, and I never really got an answer.
What's the question?
Are we going to put a link on that MySpace.com thing that we got? Or?
Yes, we are.
Oh. Because wouldn't you think we get a lot more friends that way?
Yes, we will.
And we're looking for friends, believe me, especially in the current environment. I noticed that on the Dollar Mattress copy it said Jeff High / what's it, Gary Sarner.
Okay.
Yeah, Gary Sarner. So now that Gary Sarner's got his finger in that account, that's all I can say to that.
Hey, we like Gary Sarner.
Why is that? Oh, that's right, you got your Ruth Chris.
I went in there also.
You went in where? In Ruth Chris?
I went to Ruth Chris.
Did they give you some of those things?
I got a certificate. I went in there. Went to town.
I got 3 of them. How do you like that?
Well, it's not fair, but, it's okay.
What do you mean it's not fair?
No, I'm joking. Well,
I'll deduct that from your next check, hotshot.
I took advantage. It was great.
In fact, I'd be glad to send you those, although I would like to use them here because they got a fantastic Ruth Chris in the Hilton Hotel downtown Toronto.
Really? I heard it was bad, so you should just send them down for me so I could use them in Fort Lauderdale.
I hear it's great.
No, I just heard the Fort Lauderdale one's better, so if you'd want to just send them down, it'd be better.
So you actually went in there and kissed Gary Sarner's ass, huh?
No, I met the chef Abdiel that came in and brought the food when we were in here. And saw him.
Now, let's see, who all was there, though? That's right, Tommy was there that day. George was on vacation. George got screwed over badly.
That's right. I'll make up somehow.
Boy, that's bad. Tommy, man, he was in there like at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Tommy deserves it.
Yeah. Especially after the way Clarence browbeats him,
That's right.
114 at 560 WQAM. I'm telling you about great food is easy to do when you know how good it is, like the melting pot, for example. I've been a melting potter for years and years. That goes all the way back to Zeta. If you haven't been in one of South Florida's melting pot restaurants in a while, now's the time to go back because it is really quite an experience and better than ever before, too. As you guys know, because at least you don't get messed up on that. You've been there a couple of times when the melting pot comes in.
And they'll be here on Friday, too.
You eat so much you do get messed up. It's a full 4-course dining experience, starting with a renowned cheese fondue served with 3 different breads, Granny Smith apples, and crisp veggies. Next comes your choice of lively salads. Your entrees include a combination of lobster, filet mignon, shrimp, Cajun seasoned chicken, pork, duck, portobello mushrooms, and lots more, cooked in oil or broth, whichever you prefer. And don't forget the melting pot's homemade dipping sauces. That's what makes the fondue experience fun and really tasty. And now, of course, speaking of tasty, the clincher to every meal at the melting pot is those fantastic desserts. Like their chocolate fondue with fresh strawberries, bananas, pineapples, all your fresh favorite fruits, cheesecake, brownies, and tasty marshmallows rolled in crushed Oreos or graham crackers for dipping. Well, there's nothing in the world like it. It's only waiting for you at the melting pot. So if you're getting tired and bored of the same old crap, take the whole gang out for a real treat at the melting pot nearby. You and tell them that old Neil sent you by. There's a pot in Coral Springs, Miami Beach, North Miami Beach, Cooper City, Fort Lauderdale, Kendall, and even prestigious Boca And I'm sitting here with this thing all screwed up.
This is Neil Rogers.
Is that quick or what, huh?
This is
Got that fast finger, baby.
Holy Mackinac! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil God.
Absolutely.
Cost of living out of control. Corporate poles have no regulation. Traders get a free pass to roam. Like Karl Rove, who leaked out information on playing your loyalty to the service and dying. You'll follow them into hell. Whoa, dedicated life. No longer their path on my control. Dedicated life. It's you that they're holding, and they're holding your soul. But life is about a war. That ain't no war. It's an occupation. Flooding babies in half-court cries for the Uber ride in a defenseless nation you fight. You don't speak out about criminal lying. Good Christian soldiers from hell. Oh, dedicated life. That's a Republican way of life. Dedicated life. You let them keep running your life. Dedicated life. They got all of you under control. Dedicated life. You American Idol. Lazy cow potato.
I'm dying over here.
121 at QAM. I tell you, I do like the grassroots a lot.
Yes.
And that stuff was all on there, on all that crap you sent me?
Yes, it was.
3,600 and some odd songs on my iPod, and I've only just begun, like the Carpenters would say. Only.
And that's on there, too.
I know it's on there. Yeah, I was on it. The flight back from Amsterdam to Toronto was not one of the all-time best. But it sure killed some good time. I don't want to go through all the problems. The plane was too hot, and they couldn't board, and then bada-beep, bada-boop. It's just, it's just the traveling thing is not what it used to be. It's going to be a real pain in the glass. 1,092 votes, so I guess I'll let you guys take those seats next time, like next time to Europe.
All right.
Sounds good. St. Augustine, Florida. The jury that found Justin Barber guilty of murdering his wife during a stroll on the beach has recommended that he receive the death penalty. The panel, which deliberated for 51 minutes, was split 8-4 in favor of the death penalty. Judge Edward Hedstrom will make the ultimate sentencing decision, but under Florida law, he must give great weight to the recommendation of the jurors. Instead of mounting a defense to a death sentence yesterday, a lawyer for Barber chastised the jury and said the defendant had decided on principle not to allow relatives to plead for his life. He will not put his family through that. He will not do that in an effort to seek mercy for a crime he didn't commit, defense attorney Robert Willis said during brief remarks to the jury that found the 34-year-old guilty Saturday of murdering his wife. As the defendant looked on from the defense table, his attorney told jurors he was dumbfounded by the decision. And he looked at them all and went, like that. Is that what they should have done in the O.J. trial?
All right.
Judge Ito should have looked at the jurors and gone, like that. Although I think that's what O.J. did, wasn't he? He went, kind of like that. Oh, I'm not gonna find that thing. Juice. You know the one I'm talking about?
What are you talking about?
No juice.
Oh, man.
I told you. There it is. Anyway, as the defendant looked on, I just said that. I don't know how you got where you are, he said, shaking his head. Echoing accusations he made against police in the closing argument of the trial, Willis said, apparently you have found every sinister inference there is. The 6 men and 6 women on the jury stared back at Willis with blank expressions like, huh? Duh? The panelists returned to the jury room yesterday morning to decide whether Barber should receive death or life in prison without the possibility of parole for gunning down his wife, April, on a deserted beach in 2002. He claimed she was killed by a mugger who also shot him 4 times. What do you think?
About what?
I think the bitch had it coming.
Probably.
By the way, I noticed one of our friends out there, 119 friends that we have on that new myplace.com, is Johnny G.
Who?
Oh, come on. Don't remember Johnny G's Pizza? No, that's before your time. That goes way back to Zeta.
Right.
Johnny G. He's faxed us every now and then. Occasionally, he's still out there. That's the kind of people we need to hear from on that thing, on MySpace Place.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rosie right now.
And I bet you are. I wonder if there's anybody I'm looking at. No, not yet. Although I looked at there was somebody on there. Well, let me look at him. There's Jay, who's like got a fat face like me and not as old though. What are you laughing about? Oh, there's Matthias, and see what Matthias's comment is? Yeah. Thanks, Matthias. I wonder if he's kin to Matthias Nordstrom, the hockey player. Oh, there's what's his name? Samuelito. Sam Alito? Oh no. Isn't that cute?
That's very cute.
Yeah, this will give us something extra to do. Read all these comments and from our 5 friends. I mean, how many we got? Well, let me ask you. Oh, see, in other words, just the ones that send the pictures are the ones that are like...
No, anybody can send a comment. The thing is, like, to be like you have to have an account to be a friend, you know. You got to
MySpace?
Set one up. I mean, it's free. It's
116. Excuse me, 116. I'm exaggerating. I said 119. We have only 116 friends. We feel really very bad about that. Don't you feel bad?
No, not really. We just got it going.
116 friends. I've discovered that sometimes one is enough, depending on the time and the circumstances. 26 past 1 at 560 WQAM. Well, I'll tell you one thing, when you're not doing these shows very often, it seems like, 40, 50 hours ago we sat down here? Holy cow, Rat Man. Just mark it down that today I'm complaining about being overworked during these summer months. Just mark that down and see what kind of response you get around the building. They'll probably be giving you the Italian salute and several other. By the way, Brazil beat out the gonorrhea team. I think it was 3-0 for Brazil. All you World Cuppers out there. How the hell long does that go on? My God, it just goes on and on for like ever. And they have all these, they have some of the games in cities in Germany that I never heard of before. Although I think I'd like to check them all out, all the cities in Germany, especially going back to Berlin and Cologne. If you're a cigar smoker, you'd like to kick back with a good premium brand, then Bahia Cigars by Tony Berhani is for you. These hard-to-find stogies are made with first-grade tobacco, processed and aged up to 10 years. Now, Bahia, like I've been telling you for a long time, is a real boutique cigar maker specializing in small-batch, hard-to-find tobacco. Bahia Gold, a flagship line, gets a 91 rating by Cigar Aficionado's Cigar Insider and a 9.1 rating by Smoke Magazine. This rich, flavored, well-balanced, full-bodied Nicaraguan cigar, see, just like Stan Major, has got earthy hints of dark roast coffee, chocolate, spice, and pepper flavors. Also, be sure to try the Bahia Deseo, the hottest release cigar in the last 10 months. The Deseo gets a high rating of 91 by Cigar Aficionado's Cigar Insider. It's a big, powerful cigar. It'll make you gag and choke like I just did, with complex notes of leather, earth, and pepper. The finish is long and full-bodied, with additional spice and a note of charred wood. To receive 40%, you want to save almost half the price of all your Bahia cigars. When you call and order them, just tell them Neil Rogers told you to call, and you'll save 40%, nearly half. Call 1-800-35-BAHIA. That's 1-800-35-BAHIA.
This is Neil Rogers. Rock solid. This is 560 QAM.
Grab my junior, honey.
This was the moment you dreaded the most. America voted, and guess what you lost? Secrets told you you can no longer stay. And Paul, I had nothing nice to say. And then they put your montage on. Your musical career has run aground, and you've been neutered by the dog pound. Gotta sing a song before you go away. Same one, no one like yesterday. And here's the reason that you're gone. 'Cause you sang a bad song, you wore a bad shirt. Simon said you were dreadful, and man, that hurts. You say you'll be fine, you'll still be a star, but a month from now you'll be parking cars. You sang a bad song for millions to see, and your 15 minutes is now history. You sang a bad song. You sang a bad song.
Absolutely. 1:30 at 560 WQAM. I've got something breathtaking, earth-shocking coming over my thing right now.
Yeah?
I'm just printing it out.
Oh, okay.
Remember that story we had earlier about Rush and his Viagra? See? Rush Limbaugh could see a deal with prosecutors in a long-running prescription fraud case collapse after authorities found a bottle of Viagra in his bag at Palm Beach International Airport. The prescription was not in his name. Limbaugh was detained for more than 3 hours yesterday at the airport after returning from a vacation in La República Dominicana. Customs officials found the Viagra in his luggage, but his name was not on the prescription, said Paul Miller, a spokesman for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Miller said the alleged violation could be a second-degree misdemeanor. The Sheriff's Office was investigating and will soon turn the case over to the State Attorney's Office, which had no immediate comment today. Under the deal reached last month with prosecutors, Limbaugh was not to be arrested for any infraction for 18 months in exchange for authorities deferring a charge of doctor shopping. Prosecutors had alleged the conservative talk show host illegally deceived multiple physicians to receive overlapping painkiller prescriptions.
Absolutely.
Limbaugh also must submit to random drug tests and continue treatment for his admitted addiction to painkillers. Limbaugh's doctor had prescribed the Viagra, but it was labeled as being issued to the physician rather than Mr. Limbaugh for privacy purposes, Roy Black, Limbaugh's attorney, said in a statement. Right, for privacy purposes. If you get the Viagra, everybody in the world can find out, but if Rush needs it, then we don't want to say that. That would be bad for his image as this macho right-wing piece of turd, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection examined the 55-year-old radio commentator's luggage after his private plane landed here. Oh, his private plane, excuse me. Investigators confiscated the drugs which treat erectile dysfunction. Limbaugh was released without being charged. He didn't get his charge, and Darren ain't too happy about it. How do you like that? So he may be screwing up his other deal. Wouldn't that be a shame, huh?
Yeah, that would be
bad.
très tragique.
Yeah. Oh, look at what we got on the poll. 11-11. First time, I think, in history. What did I tell you? I may not be doing a lot of shows this summer, but boy, they're going to be record-breaking and earth-shocking and news-making. That'll be on the front page of the Sun Sentinel tomorrow. Special Tom Jicker report. 1,111 votes on the poll. It's not even 135 yet. What do you think?
I imagine.
I still have issues with the Sun Sentinel, by the way, with their website. Sucks. 1,111 votes. What's your take on the World Cup? Soccer is so boring. Oh, amen. 4-13. Moderately interested, 296. I love it. Watching it on TV, 224. What's the World Cup? 82. As boring as watching any other sport, 62. And I hate this pool, 34. 34. What I call it? I got it right.
Close enough.
Yeah. Well, I start with the Spanish and the Italian, then the Japanese, and I throw a little bit of that. It's very good. Now, this thing about Anita Marks, your assignment for tomorrow morning early is to beat the crap out of the beast. Stick him with the red hot poker. Try
Rectum.
Yeah, it should be easy to find. God. Do you have any idea who that is, Anita Marks? She was on some light bulb make-believe. I think she was on that 1400 thing.
Yeah.
And this goes back to that sports fraternity there again inside that building. We don't care about Anita Marks. We care a hell of a lot more about Groucho Marx and Harpo and Zeppo and Chico.
Yeah.
Chicklets. We don't give a crap about Anita Marks. She don't get no high marks from us, and nobody has any idea who that is.
Well, when I heard that she was in Playboy, I looked up her pictures. And I don't know if they make brown bags big enough to cover that nose.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like I said, why would we care about Anita Marks, Beasto?
Other than that, though, I mean, assuming you did find a bag big enough, she's got a pretty nice body.
Oh, right. In other words, she's in the TV. She ought to be in the TV business. She's got a fine set. Is that what you're saying?
She's got a butterface. Everything's nice. Butterface.
Can you believe it's really not?
Parquet.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Touche parquet. But whatever happened to those spots? Those were good spots.
They were
parquet. Those were great spots. That was about 100 years ago for all you punks out there. I haven't seen those in a long time.
Those are good. Mantequilla.
Yeah. Oh, in Espanol, they got the same spots, too. Oh, you know what they were talking about? In Argentina and in Brazil. Well, it's no different than Dade County. You know what they watch all day long on the TV?
I give up.
No, you don't.
Soap operas.
Right, all day.
Oh, yeah.
Now, these are those same, of course, I don't want to say macho guys in Brazil because I think that would be getting carried away. Macho ladies in Brazil. But, the Latinos are very, very, and also in España, man, they're very big on those, what are novelas?
Sí.
Wow.
They're huge. You know, we're pretty big on them here in this studio, too.
Yeah, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
Perverts. 5670560. We got Kim Bocamper at 2. Mad Dog at 4. He'll tell you all about that Barry Jackass column from Friday. See, how come we have Barry Jackass put in the paper and he says, well, it's not definite and we don't know when and since Mo got blown out and whatever. Very sad. See, the one thing, maybe the name of the manager has changed, but they're still programming the station through the Barry Jackass column in the Herald. Didn't work before, ain't going to work now. WQAM, hello.
Neil, you act like you're so righteous.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to believe it, but when I got into the car and you were mentioning that Anita Marks person,
yeah,
I know who that is. You want to know who that is?
I just got through telling you who it is. What?
Oh, you did say it was the lady quarterback for the Miami football team, the ladies
Miami
football
Fury.
team. Right. Okay. Now another thing, Neil.
But nobody cares about her, okay? Don't you understand? Nobody knows who that is. And the Beast wastes all my fax paper sending me a big story about how she's in Baltimore, and nobody cares there either.
Now another thing. You mentioned Tony Cigaretto's going to fill in, right?
Thursday morning for the Humper,
okay.
yes.
What show, or actually what station was it when they had Chappie, Goldstein, and the engine killer? I forgot what his name was. DeForest, right, Depot? Was that IOD or was that
engine killer?
Was that QAM or was that IOD?
No, that was QAM.
That was QAM, but they were still called the first team, correct?
The worst team, yeah.
Yeah, the worst team.
Well,
Okay,
that's all before our time. That's way back.
Well,
Shappy. Shappy. I can't believe you said Shappy. Makes me feel really crappy.
Steve Shapiro. But the thing is, that's how long I've been listening to you, Neil.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thanks, Pally.
Yeah.
Did you understand the last thing when he said? That's how long I've been listening to you. What does that got to do with?
No, I didn't hear a word he said.
Well, why not?
I was.
Are you starting to act crappy because he said Shappy?
I was checking the website to see if Eric put that link up there.
Steve Shapiro. He's pretty weak. Is he still around? Steve Shapiro?
Steve Shapiro?
Steve Shapiro?
Who?
Sports guy, sports nerd, very weak.
So during the break.
Yeah.
Something you don't often do. Look under the poll on the website.
Yes.
And there it is.
Oh, the link? Well, why can't I do it right now?
Oh, you can do it right now.
You think I'm some kind of a slowpoke? My computer skills would astonish you. Neil's MySpace, right above there. What would Jesus do? He'd probably say, "I'm a friend," and it says this page cannot be found.
We are adding Jesus to our friends list.
No, I just clicked Neil's MySpace. It says this page cannot be found.
Uh-oh.
So, Eric, it's a work in progress, I guess. It's the link is going up, but it's not linked to anything yet.
That's weird because
does it work for you?
No, but it should because that's the site. In other words,
it doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for you. Therefore, it's still Eric ain't finished yet. Okay. It says this page cannot be found. We've all seen that. How many million times have we seen that come up?
Right, so I don't think it's an Eric thing.
WWJD, what would you? That's just fine there with all those. And there's the one that says a-hole. There you go. We know what that one's all about. And I again apologize. It's above Al Gore's picture. Sorry, Al. Although when you come right down, let's see. Neil's MySpace. I clicked it again. This page cannot be found.
I know, but the correct address comes up, so I think it's a problem with MySpace. Maybe it's being flooded or being updated.
Oh yeah, we're flooding MySpace, right? Well, you talk about a dream.
Particular web
we got 116 friends. 116 friends.
It has nothing to do with your page, MySpace. There's so many millions of people.
Don't you think I know that? We still got 116 friends. We're pumping the crap out of this, man. And we still only got 116, old bean? Holy cow, we got a lot of work to do. We got 1,129 votes, but out of those, only 16 are friends.
Well, people are going to look at it.
People?
Yes.
What did he just say?
That's what he said.
He said something about peeking through. Oh, now let's see. I guess we can't play that one anymore either. Peeping through. I like that bit. MySpace. I just clicked it again. Neil's Myers' page cannot be found. Nice going, Eric. You the man. So you're saying it's not his fault?
No.
I say.
Because I just tried going there the conventional way.
Well, I just did too. I had no problem. I went right to it. Yeah. Yeah. It's in my URLs. I just clicked on it and I went right there. How do you think I know we still have only 116, old bean? And then I went back to our thing and 116 for the Queen. And I clicked on Eric's, Neil's MySpace. Nothing. Can't be found, baby. We're looking for it. We can't find it. Anyway, 19 till 2, all you people out there.
I have no life.
Just start looking for it. Maybe you'll find it. I doubt it, but keep looking. Hey, if you have a business, need to get customers away from the competition, here's the perfect business partner for you. Pubset Printing and Design. Pubset can design and print everything you need in your arsenal. Just look at the display booth they made about me on our website, and you can find that. It's way down at the bottom of the page, and you look at that and say, holy crap. Or see even more of their phenomenal work at PubsetSF.com on their website. Pubset can print everything you need from business cards to banners, posters to their specialty trade show booths and displays. Pubset Design and Printing, the very best for over 14 years. And Pubset can handle it all in-house. Call them at 954-772-7275. That's 954-772-7275. Better yet, see for yourself at PubsetSF.com. Look your best and get those new customers. It's your business and it's Pubset's business to make you look great. And they do. Call 954-772-7275 or go to PubsetSF.com. Look for my gross picture on their building on Dixie Highway, just north of Commercial. Choose the very best Pubset Printing and Design. Call them and tell them that old Muff told you to call 954-772-7275.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Absolutely.
It's been brought to my attention that your ratings are dying now. Well, I don't assure you what a big asset I was to you, and how. You thought you could find somebody good enough to fill my baggy pants? It ain't easy. There ain't no chance I'll ever be coming back. Outside of considering a lucrative contract. If you want to know what'll save you from shutting that transmitter down, why, that's easy. Sure.
All you need is more. All you need is more. All you need is a show. Don't blow.
A 2-year-old time slot only got you today. Despite that, my ratings have bottomed out in this day. Which radio has a revolving door for the gayest of the whores as
all you need is more.
Now take it.
All you need is more. All you need is a show.
Over here, you must you'll find a way something.
Yeah?
Jack told me to give you this.
What?
You see? What are you going to do, fire me, huh?
Like old times.
Oh, don't want to step on that thing. 146, 14 till 2. Man, oh man, the end is in sight today. And then, of course, George will be back tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday, and then I'll be on someday, not too soon. 1,138 votes. Too bad about that 4th of July, and really too bad about that Marlin game next Thursday, you know? Anything out of feel guilty?
No.
Tucson, Arizona, an empty casket with a military seal discovered in the desert was discarded by a mortuary after the deceased family requested that the body be exhumed and cremated, authorities said. Deputies were called to the desert area near I-10 Saturday after two people playing paintball found the casket, which was metallic silver, with the U.S. Army insignia on it. Forensic investigators then took DNA samples, began efforts to try to find where the casket came from. Mortuary employees contacted authorities yesterday or Sunday after seeing news accounts about the discovery. Why does today seem like Monday to me?
Because it's the first day you're working?
Yeah, it seems just like Monday.
Mm-hmm.
No information was given on who had been buried in the casket. A tisket, who the hell's in that casket? One thing we do know, that finding it at least...
It puts the lotion in the
casket. Deputy Dawn Barkman, a spokeswoman for the Pima County Sheriff's Office, said the casket was taken to a landfill after the body was exhumed in late May. Someone took it from the landfill and then just dumped it. Well, wouldn't that be bad? Why do people get so, I guess, I don't know.
Wiggy?
They're so wiggy about the whole retrieving people's bodies and all this. I just don't understand that. Well, there should be dignity for the dead. Well, how much dignity is there for like a stiff, you know, when you come right down to it?
Right. I guess because they don't want it to happen to them.
Why?
I don't know.
That's why you got to get cremated right away. Just
right
take
away?
my fat body and burn it, baby. Burn, baby,
Wow.
burn. Why not?
What a grease fire that'll make.
Oh, man. Can you imagine all the great steaks you can cook on that?
It burns.
I think it goes back to the whole concept of not accepting death, you know?
Right. That's right.
I mean, go and dig up a casket, some stiff from like George Washington, okay? I'm sure that's somewhere you'll find his casket, right?
I'm sure.
And dig it up. What are you going to find in there?
I don't know.
Like for example, you saw the Omen, the original one with Gregory Schmeck?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember how he and the photographer, the freaked-out photographer, how they went to Italy?
Right.
And they went to that, what do they call that place? Not a rectory, but the place where all those dying priests, those, you know, what was that?
Like a hospice or something.
Yeah, like that. A hospice for priests. And then he gave them the directions to go to where to find the caskets, his deceased son,
right.
which it turns out was it was an animal. Remember that?
That's right.
And it was nothing but skin and bones in there. Not forget the skin, just bones.
Bones, right.
A tasket, there's a skeleton in your casket. And it's just so, I don't know, I just don't understand why people get so, I mean, that's it. You're born and you die and then that's it, that's the end. Oh no, the soul goes to heaven and they're looking down on us right now. No, they're not. They're looking at us with what? With their eyes? How do you look with no eyes? With no brain? And of course, that's the kind of people that believe this crap, no brain. And that's why they're still living. So they'll be right at home in death, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It'll fit right in with God's game plan. Look at that. Gilbert raised enough money to build an entire village. What does that mean? Or is that Gilbert?
Feel guilty being
Rod
at
Gilbert.
home, and I have enough materially to last me.
Oh, a village for the poor in Jamaica is called Barbara's Village. Oh, I see.
Yeah, man.
These are like small-time Warren Buffetts. Little people who made a difference. Or saving some desperate people. I'll tell you one thing. That'd be two of the last places that I would send to spend money to save people would be Jamaica and Sri Lanka. Kind of rhymes, don't it?
Kind of.
Those would be two of the very last places that I'd send a dime to. With all due respect to your Jamaican friends and dealers.
I only have a friend, and he ain't no dealer.
Well, so what do you need him for, then?
I don't. He moved to Houston.
Well, get rid of him, man. You too much excess baggage.
He got rid of himself.
Was that the dead one?
No. He moved to Houston. He might as well be dead.
Oh, I thought maybe that was the fat one.
No. The fat one was
probably
Jewish.
I don't think there's a lot of fat Jamaicans, are there? I don't think I've ever seen any fat Jamaicans.
I'll check.
Isn't that kind of strange when you're smoking all of that good weed and it gives you that big appetite all the time?
Now that you mention
what is that all about? Huh?
Maybe they're spending all their money on weed, can't afford no
Okay,
chow.
that's our thing. Let's find one of our friends on that MySpace if we ever can get that thing straightened out. Let's find a fat Jamaican listener. Wouldn't that be great?
Okay.
Male or female or some that we're not really too sure what they are. I'm going to try clicking that thing again because I can't believe that Eric screwed up that bad, you know? He's usually pretty good with this stuff.
He's fixing it.
Yeah,
we discovered what the problem is and we're fixing it.
And there it is. See, look, I know that this man can get the job done. Believe me. In between feedings, there ain't nobody like it. So there it is. You just click on that thing. Now we're going to find some friends, okay? That's the way to do it. Right there, is it under the pool? Let me take a look. Yeah, right under the pool. Neil's MySpace. Click on that, baby, and it takes you to a whole new place, baby. MySpace, our place. And we got all that Godfather stuff on there. Wouldn't surprise me if you click in the right place, you'll get like some Godfather drop-ins.
Bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
Like that one, huh?
Right.
Wouldn't that be good? We can put all kinds of nifty stuff on there. And then, see, there's the picture of you looking like you. Although I'll tell you, the only thing, with all due respect to Miguel, did a fine job on this, but the picture on the right, where it's my picture in the middle of the queue.
Yeah.
My mouth has been doctored there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the whole picture, that's an airbrush rendition that Bob from Excitement did of you.
What do you mean by that?
That's a painting of you.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, that picture is from one of the old QM cards. I'm telling you right now.
From one of the old QM cards that Bob from Excitement took and made an airbrush painting of you.
He made a painting of me?
That's a painting. You want
look
the
what he
original?
did to my lips.
Big. He's probably seen them.
Looks like I had a stroke.
You
I
have.
don't know how to think of it. I don't want to like poo-poo his work there, but just like Joyce was saying, poo-poo, you know? Oh, was she? oh, man, I think I just smelled it. 153. So anyway, that's kind of a fun thing, you know, for us to play with this summer.
Absolutely correct, sir.
For those people who don't have too much to do.
I have no life.
Hey, if you love the finer things in life, then you'll love Stogie's. It's Miami's quintessential cigar shop in Kendall. With South Florida's largest selection of cigars, Stogie's of Kendall is sure to have all your favorites. Stogie's has got over 1,000 open boxes of cigars to choose from, including all the top brands that you know and love and covet, like Arturo Fuente, Padron, Monte Cristo, Romeo and Julieta, and so many more, including a large selection of premium cigars at closeout prices, as well as the obscure and hard-to-find brands. Come into Stogie's today, enjoy a smooth smoke in their wine lounge, featuring some of the finest boutique wines from all around the world. And be sure to join Stogie's every Friday for their wine tasting from 5 until 8 in the p.m., featuring some of the most delicious Bordeaux that France has got to offer. You'll find Stogie's at 11612 North Kendall Drive. They're open every day, 7 days a week. You can call Stogie's to reserve a box of your favorite cigars, 305-598-9820. When you stop in, say hi to Mary and the girls, Sandra and Yanni, and get a free cigar of the day just for mentioning my name and stopping by. That's Stogie's in Kendall, 11612 North Kendall Drive, 305-598-9820.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Wonderful WQAM. Way down south, where the mudwumps go to hang from trees and play banjo. You got some who own a station on newfangled radio. Now as North Carolina goes, Raleigh's a big city, you know, and that's where the Beasleys had to go for Jolly Riley Joe. A new GM, he'll do what he can. Shake your hand like a friend, then quickly walk away. Yes. They had Joe go to 560 with ratings in the toilet bowl to get those
flaming sportful mows and order and control. And then so Jolly Raleigh Joe, a buckler and in the know, he lets mow go, and here's what blows, gives Geldy his own show. He'll make a big change and rearrange. It's worse or the same, he hasn't done a thing. For what goes on the air at 2, Joe don't have a stinking clue about a format that essentially blows sport hole radio. The GM of 560, Jolly Raleigh Joe.
Bye, bye, bye!